I New Vision Auto Glass.
Hey, it's Ned with New Vision Auto Glass. Do you have a cracked windshield? Flying rocks on Phoenix roads can do that. So here's my Ned tip. Call or visit newvisionautoglass.com and qualify for up to $375 cash back and a free dinner at Rodizio Grill.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Roc. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900 and always online at lernerandrow.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Sports 910.
D-backs swept in Tampa. They're in Miami to battle the Marlins tonight, or this afternoon, that is. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. We also got Schubert and Jax with us today. So we got the full team, the A team, so to speak, for the next 3 hours here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. As Rudy Carpenter is going to join us this hour, Mike Yam from the CW Network and NFL Network will stop by as well. And we have Frank Sanders. So those are our three guests today. Our It's Your Call question of the day, which is brought to you by State 48 Roofing. To get started, what is your biggest concern after watching the Cardinals' first two preseason games? Of course, they lost to the Colts on Saturday night. Your choices are no pass rush, no rush defense, no big pass plays, being 0-2. Those are your four choices. Go to our Twitter page. It just got up at Roc and Manuch. But we are out here, and some news locally just to kind of get us started. I think this is the news of the day, especially if you are a football fan or a fan of the Lumberjacks in northern Arizona, as be prepared to call them not the Lumberjacks anymore. Astrojacks.
Astrojacks?
Yeah.
Come on.
Louis the Lumberjack is being rebranded to Bluey the Space Ox.
Say what? What? Where did this come from?
Yeah. Well, they're trying to promote their astronomy there at NAU. You know, you can basically feel the stars if you go up there.
Yeah, oh, my gosh.
So they're going to roll out a new scheme with new uniforms, the mascot, the marks, everything. And select sports. It'll be soccer, volleyball, men's and women's basketball. And I think there'll be like 6 football games this year that be prepared to call them the Astrojacks.
The Astrojacks. There's no ferociousness to that. The Lumberjacks are out there chopping wood and out there in the country. But
so that big guy, what are they going to call that big guy, Louis Lumberjack, walking around? Hey, the ass man, right? You know, I mean, because that.
Don't tell me they're gonna have a spaceman with a helmet on walking around during the game
with an axe over his shoulder.
It's what it looks like. I mean, the logo, you can Google
it.
Yeah, okay. It's just it's a little character. I think kids will like it.
Oh yeah, kids.
Well, yeah.
I don't know about 18 to 21-year-old kids.
Yeah,
but little kids will like it.
It
reminds you of the Jetsons.
Yeah,
there you go.
I can just think it's like Scottsdale Community College. They're still called the Artichokes. They're called the Artichokes. So when that came out, when the student body president, when they opened up back in 1973, 74, very, very anti-sports, at Wisconsin Community College. So they went ahead. They wanted their color scheme to be pink and blue, and they wanted to be called the Artichokes. So they've been the Artichokes since day one. Man, that stuff just blows me away.
I just don't know, for so long, you think of northern Arizona, you think of Lumberjacks. You think of the mountain man.
Yeah,
you think about that small town.
Where's Paul Bunyan when you need him?
Yeah, I don't think Astrojacks. I think this is a bad move.
I agree,
I think
Roc.
this is a marketing person that a little over his or her head.
Overzealous for
over
the program.
her head, get it? Astronomy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this is not going to fare well with a lot of people.
So when we have Mitch Stroman on, who's the fine play-by-play voice,
we'll introduce him now. Yeah. So now instead of saying "Go Jacks," he's going to say "Go Astrojacks."
Yeah, I come on, folks. I mean, don't we take this a little bit too far? I mean, the Astrojacks. All right, you got a big program there, and the stars and the moon and all that, and you got the big. What do you call it? The telescope up there.
But that is a big symbol up there. That's
it
what
is.
You see.
It is.
You are pretty high up there. What's it, 7,000?
Yeah,
It is,
7, just over 7,000.
And I've been up there to Pepsi Amphitheater quite a bit, and at night, you look up in the sky and you can you feel like you can almost reach and touch.
Sure.
It's so
incredible.
high. It is a great look, but that's a little bit of a stretch. Arizona State, meanwhile, they have named redshirt freshman Sam Levitt as their new starter. He will get the start. He transferred from Michigan State. He is now going to give it a go, and it looks as though, at least according to Arizona Republic, that he is the starter. He had a slight edge over the other guys, and we'll see him against Wyoming.
Yeah, I think Sims, who came in, they were saying he was, I wouldn't say head and shoulders. He's more consistent than Sims was, the kid that transferred from Nebraska. Trenton Bourget, who's been there for 5 or 6 years, I believe he might be the backup to Sam Levitt just because of his experience, knowing this offense or picking up this new offense. But, Sims, they said, struggle. I talked to several people, catch up with Hope Rubino on Wednesday for our Campus Quickies and get his thoughts on Sam Levitt being named the starting quarterback and where that puts his team. So now, with this team playing in, basically 2 weeks, how are they going to be able to come together better? You got pretty much your starters in line, so you can emphasize scrimmage. You can get everybody on the same page. And I think the most important key is for that quarterback to be named now and everybody get those reps and get that continuity on that football field.
Sims came into this Arizona State situation with a reputation of making mistakes. And not only
a lot of them.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that, and also they were major mistakes. Picks at the wrong time, fumbles at the wrong time. It plagued him big time at Nebraska, which is one of the reasons why he left and hoping to get a new start. But obviously, that has not transitioned to be a positive setup for one Jeff Sims at ASU.
Yeah, and I think that I would suspect, we'll see, that Bourget would be the backup and Sims would be there like an emergency guy.
I'm with you.
If he needs to be, because you're right, Jimmy. He needs to resurrect his career. He was awful last year. I believe it was 3 picks against Colorado in the first half.
Yeah.
I was with Chubba Purdy, who was there as his backup at the time. I'm like, hey, Nebraska, what are you waiting for? And now that Dylan Raiola has come in there as the freshman quarterback, the highly touted Raiola, I think that he saw the writing on the wall. Chubba saw the writing on the wall, even though he did not want to leave. He wanted to stay there and compete for that job.
He liked it there.
He liked it there. He liked Coach Rule. He liked what they were doing. But they were pretty much telling Chubba, hey, look, if you want to move in, go do it. If not, you can stay and compete. But we're pretty much set on Raiola as the quarterback. So with that standpoint, Sims really, I think, he's very raw. Got a hell of an arm, hell of an athlete. Just a matter if you're going to put him in
raw if he played at Nebraska last year and 3 years at Georgia Tech.
There you go.
Because even if they were second team reps, he's not raw.
Well, I will say this, Rock. He's raw in games. He just let me back up.
Yeah,
he's just not very efficient in game. No,
yes, exactly.
I mean, the reason why I say he's still raw, he should have corrected all this stuff 3 years ago.
Maybe he has maxed at his ability.
He may have, and he may have. I think the thing they like about him, they might just create some packages for him, maybe some coming out of the shotgun and doing some running or some wildcat kind of scenarios.
He's really good at that.
He is big, strong arm kid. He just has never, for some reason, gotten it as far as reading defenses.
Asterjacks, really?
Sad.
3.
Sad.
Cardinals remain winless. They fell to the Colts 21-13. A lot of mistakes, speaking of turnovers and penalties, and just not playing well. It just seemed like they just maybe were tired. Watching some of the talking heads, the post-game shows, they thought maybe that all those practices on the road, they were tired. And I'm like, come on, it's a
tired
game.
You get jacked up for preseason games.
This is your job.
This is for the second, third teamers. Tired. I mean, I figured out a way to get up because this is my time to shine.
Absolutely.
And I would think that they'd
have smelling salt out, Manuch.
Well, yeah, the ammonia, the ammonia capsule.
That's it. That's it.
But you know what?
But it is one thing that you can take from the game, and that is Clayton Tune has kind of pulled away, possibly as number 2. At least when you look at numbers, he was 8 of 10, close to 80 yards and a touchdown, a rushing touchdown that was, and then Desmond Ritter, excuse me. I always call him Ryder. Ritter
we'll correct
is
you each
6
time.
of 10 for about the same 71 yards, but
he looks more comfortable with this offense. He knows the offense.
Ritter will get it.
He will.
You think he will end up the number 2 because of his
I think because
experience?
I do.
Is Clayton Tunes just raw?
Well, he is. He's still raw. He's still a rook. Yeah, proving the point when you start playing against the real live ammo, it's a whole different story. But he did look more comfortable. I think Ritter eventually will be the backup. That's why they got him here.
Sure.
Yeah, he's going to be the backup. But the good thing about Clayton Tunes, he's getting a lot of good reps, played the entire first half. Good reps. He can be that emergency guy that if they do activate him, he's getting enough, I would say, pretense as to what's going on. But again, I think Ritter's going to be that backup.
Former Sun Devil Jaden Daniels has been named the starter for the Commanders. Gardner Minshew is now the starter for the Raiders. So those are some of the top stories today, as we are excited to announce that we have started the Twin Peaks Fantastic Tailgating Sweepstakes. So you kick off the football season with us truly. And let's say Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, Coors Light. It's a season-long fantastic tailgating giveaway. All you have to do is text PEAKS to 59925 and your chance to win one big prize. It's a Traeger grill, a Blackstone griddle, a pizza oven, a cornhole set, a portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector with inflatable screen, a cooler, multiple cases of Cocoa 5, and a Twin Peaks gift card. And the best of all of it,
yes,
Jimmy?
Yes.
Roc and Manuch Jimmy B logoed Wild Gear tumbler.
It's awesome.
It's got the opener on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's probably the best thing out of all. Hell with the Traeger. You want the tumbler. No purchase necessary. We're telling you this now, and we're going to tell you it a lot because you can only enter once a day. So get on your phone and text PEAKS to 59925 as standard message data rates do apply, and make this football season unforgettable at any of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations. It's our home on Thursdays with Blue Moon and Coors Light specials. Coming up, it's our Sounds of the Weekend, presented by Document Solutions. Appreciate you hanging out with us today. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Clear. Upper Crust Pizza and Patio Wine Bar on the southeast corner of Cave Creek in the 101. Happy hour 7 days a week, 4 to 7, with $5.50 house wines and well drinks, $4.75 drafts, plus tons of food specials. Upper Crust Pizza and Patio Wine Bar.
Crest Insurance is about more than providing coverage. It's about creating your safety net. We offer access to a national network of trusted carriers. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, we're here to help with a personal touch that's close to home. We're deeply invested in our communities, supporting local charities and initiatives that uplift those in need. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust. Service you can count on.
It's Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, cobbling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget, not State 48 Roofing. Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
Get out of the heat and play at Dukes. Dukes on Miller and McDowell. A huge new game room is open with foosball, pool tables, shuffleboard, darts, and Pop-A-Shot basketball.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
With 3 10-foot TV screens and dozens more big screens. You'll find every game you're looking for.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
Voted best sports bar by New Times.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
3 huge patios on the Greenbelt, all doggy friendly.
Where Dukes? Where Dukes? Miller and McDowell. Scottsdale.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair's gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Time for today's play of the day, courtesy of Document Solutions, leading the valley in business solutions for copier and IT service. Their service can't be copied. 623-252-8282. Now let's get to the play of the day.
Before we get to the plays of the day or for the weekend, Jimmy got a little vacation in this past weekend. Got to go to San Diego, played some Torrey Pines,
Yes.
and then he was telling us as we were getting on the air today that, he was on this big yacht, he was doing all this stuff, and then he went clubbing. So when I just heard that song come on, how do you roll in a club, Jimmy? I mean, I'm just curious at 75 or how old you are.
92.
92. How do you roll in? What is
Right
you-
to
what
the
is your-
dance floor.
Maybe with the wheelchair.
No, if the tune, if I like the
if that
tune,
song you just heard coming
Yeah.
back for Document Solutions.
Yeah,
I mean, I saw you. You're nodding the head. So,
Yeah.
what does your entourage look like when you walk
He's
in?
got the white boy head
I
pump.
mean, are you
going.
are you out front or are you kind of in the back?
No. I'm always in the front, man.
You got the polyesters
am-
on. You got the pumps on.
Because what people don't realize with Jimmy B,
Yeah.
and if you listen to the show on a regular basis, Fridays we torch him, and he's not here. He's not there to defend himself.
Correct.
But here, on a Monday, it's all of us, which is nice. And we
Kids today just don't get it.
So where I'm going with this,
Yes, I'm
is
afraid
you said
to
you
ask.
went clubbing
Yeah.
in San Diego.
Yeah.
Like where would a guy your age go clubbing?
Where people go to listen to good funky music.
So it is that kind of music. You guys are looking for that kind of music.
Absolutely, man. I can
And is it
still I throw
because-
down on the dance floor for a couple of hours.
Really?
He could throw down.
So-
Damn straight.
Because what a lot of people don't realize is Jimmy used to be in a band.
Yeah.
Okay, used to sing.
Yeah, I do.
Amongst a lot of other things he's did in his career. So, I mean, you actually get on the dance floor and you're actually out there singing along with everything that's going on?
I know just about every song that they play for the most part. So probably, yeah. As I'm
there are
kicking
clubs
it
for
up.
like certain age group.
No,
Well, you
God,
said
here we go.
clubbing.
That's what I was doing. I was at Patrick's downtown, Gaslight District, Gaslamp District. Come on,
Must be 21 to enter. That's
I
for
just
sure.
barely qualified.
Did you have the
You
shirt?
still get ID. You still get ID don't
Once
you?
in a while?
Yeah, I bet you do. Because I know on Wednesdays you go to Safeway and try to get that 55.
No, I'm
that
here
10%
doing
off by
the
being
show
55
because
over.
you're not here.
So Jimmy, what are you styling when you go? Jim, what are you styling when you go club? You got the shirt buttoned down. You got the little chain there. You got the,
I always have the chain on.
Yeah,
Rock knows the story
yeah.
of
No,
the chain.
I love the chain.
Yeah.
All right.
What
let's-
you don't do that.
What a change
Yeah.
that is.
Oh, I like how
No.
you used change.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
good.
I
Oh,
liked
yeah.
it, yes.
All right, let's get to it. There was a 66-yard field goal before halftime of the Cowboy game. And you're going to hear the announcer because he's stunned from the NFL Network right here.
This is officially a 66-yard field goal. He drills it, doesn't have enough. Oh, man, it's 66 for Aubrey. This is the end of the first half. Holy cow.
Brandon Aubrey.
Yep.
So I'm watching this real time, going 66 yards. It's preseason, no big deal.
Right.
So I'm watching. They got the end zone shot, and he kicks it. And damn, this thing might have a chance, guys. He cleared it by 5 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, he crushed it. And I'm like, oh, too bad it's preseason. He breaks the record of 66 yards. It was at 64 an hour, I think, something like that. But I mean, I went, oh my gosh, and I'm like, he kicked it clean in the dome there in Las Vegas, and I'm like, damn.
So, Manuch, in your days in the league, you were a holder. A lot of people don't
Right.
know, outside of being a quarterback, but you had to get him in there somehow. So you got the hold. What is the longest field goal do you recall? Because you had Dempsey, didn't you?
I held for Tom Dempsey my
Yeah.
rookie year.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
huge.
yeah. He at practice, you guys, he could still kick it 65 yards, but you didn't know if it was going left,
All
right.
Okay.
Powerful leg.
Yeah.
And a matter of fact, Tom missed a couple field goals, and I think an extra point. First 3 games of the season, they let him go. Not because of moi, but
Uh-huh.
Nick Mickemeyer came in.
Okay.
And the longest I've
Good
held,
kicker.
a hell of a kicker, yeah. Longest I've held for, I think Nick kicked one like 52, 53 yards. But you didn't. The thing was, you want to make sure your defense was solid, because if you missed, they got the ball like at the 35, 40-yard line.
Right.
But I got to tell you, with Tom Dempsey, what a great guy. Good old boy, had that club foot, and that toe, kicking shoe was solid wood around, wasn't plated, still plated, it was solid wood. And he would, hey, Sam, let's just try a couple 65-yarders. Kabaya. And that thing would clear by 3 or 4 yards.
Well,
he just had trouble with his accuracy.
Yeah, he had the NFL record for the longest time. He kicked that ball 63 yards, and it was at New Orleans in the old two-lane stadium, outside, outdoors, muddy field. Yeah, and he drilled it 63 yards at sea level in New Orleans. So that was a hell of a kick.
Nicest guy in the world. I commend Tom. He passed away just a couple years ago, but he came up to me, cleaning out his locker, and I'm like, oh man, I went over and said, Tom, I'm really sorry to see you moving. He goes, Danny, he said, this was not you. I just want you to know that. I told the press it wasn't you, because they're like, well, you got a new holder, you got a rookie holder.
Yeah.
So I felt good that he told the press, everybody, look, this is on me. And I felt good because like, is there anything I was doing wrong that I can correct for Nick or whatever? And he pretty much took that high road and said, no, it's all on me.
All right, Patrick Mahomes has got something up his sleeve. He kind of showed us in preseason his behind-the-back pass that he did in this preseason game. This is courtesy NFL Network.
Mahomes keeps it, goes behind the back. Kelsey's got it for the first down. How do you like that?
Well, they talked about it in practice this week, and Mahomes even talked about the fact that he said Andy wants him to do it in a game. Well, guess what? Here it is.
I don't know if he did it on purpose, though.
Well, he did. They were practicing this in practice. I saw it during the week, and I'm going, you think they would really try that in a game? So I saw some of the clips, the Chiefs practices, and they were doing it. He did like 2 or 3 times. And I'm watching the highlights. I'm going, Lord, I said, oh my gosh, they did it. He rolls out to his right, and the way it's set up is Kelsey's kind of dragging behind him, goes up about 5 yards, and he's just going right. He flips it behind his back to give it to him. He's only like 5 yards down the field. Lo and behold, they did it. I'm like, in a National Football League game preseason, now I doubt they'll do that in a regular season, but I'm like, you go. And I love that Andy said, hey, give it a try.
Yeah,
it's preseason.
why not? Yeah.
Give it a try.
I can tell you this, Manuch, if indeed he got into trouble in a regular season game and that was his only outlet, I bet that he would do it in a regular season game if the circumstances warranted.
He would never do it behind the back, but he's throwing it left-handed. He's throwing underhanded. Underhanded, left. He would never. That would be, because if that ball gets batted down, doesn't cross, and it goes lateral, that's a fumble. So I think he's smart enough to know that if he's going to do anything, I've seen him throw a first down left-handed.
I've seen that.
He's creative that way.
All right, we had 3 walk-offs yesterday. Unfortunately, one of them was against the Diamondbacks. Here's Dylan Carson, his walk-off RBI single in the bottom of the 10th as Tampa took care of the D-backs 8-7.
And a liner into left. That's going to be in there, a base hit. And the Rays are going to win it. A base hit off the bat of Carlson, scoring Jackson. And the Rays win this one in 12.
Hell of a comeback for the Diamondbacks. Come back, and then you just get those extra innings, and the pitching faltered. But I will say this: 13 stolen bases, 7 yesterday. I know Del Castillo's got a hell of a bat, but between him and Herrera, they can't throw. That's where you miss Moreno the most, is his arm. I mean, they were stealing at will, second and third base yesterday. So that and a few errors and lack of pitching. But I got to give him credit for coming back and tying that bad boy up in the 9th inning and making this thing a game. But unfortunately, get swept 3 games. Still have enough cachet to be second in that wild card spot.
3. And then we got
to Miami.
Then we got 2 more. And Shu, you can fire these back to back if you like. Rangers and the Detroit Tigers.
Now you've got to come up with a hit. Chopper toward third. That's a tough play. Miranda throws to first, and it's dropped. And here comes Garcia, and the Rangers will win it. Put the ball in play, get a break, win a ball game.
That's the way to do it. It wasn't a base hit, but it was a ball in play. Josh Young running hard down the line. Ball pops out. Rangers win.
That's just how you draw it up. Goes as a single and an error. No RBI, but who cares?
Run at second. Swings and sends it to left. Dominguez got a good arm. They're going to wave him. A delay on the throw. He is safe.
There you have it. Thanks to today, Valley Sports Sun, Valley Sports Southwest, and ESPN with those walk-offs, as Document Solutions is our partner for our sound from the weekend. If you're in the market for a new printer, a wireless one that is, you can call them at 623-252-8282. Get yourself or your business an all-in-one printer. And right now you can buy, lease, or rent many makes and models that work right off of your smartphone. Jimmy, you couldn't use one of these printers, could you?
Probably not, no.
623-252-8282. There you have it. Real quick, let's get to on this day, not a lot in sports, but 115 years ago, 1909, the first race was held at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
I did not call that race.
That is where they do, of course, the Indy 500. And then finally, a random fact of the day, a recent study shows that engineers should make roads narrower to reduce car crashes. In a 12-foot wide lane on a 30-mile-an-hour road, you are 50% more likely to get in an accident than a tighter one at 9-foot.
A little more leeway to not pay attention. You feel a little comfortable there, a little tighter lanes from that standpoint. I doubt that'll happen anytime soon.
So college football is here this week. We're going to get into it at the top of the hour in regards to Associated Press came out the top 25 facts going into this season. All the changes. There's a lot of changes, and we're going to dive into that. But we have created what we call a 12-team predictor. And what it is all you got to do is go to our website, rockandmanuch.com, and you click on the logo right when you see it. And if you can predict all 12 teams in the playoff, you'll win $1,000. If you get them in a row, we'll give you $10,000. And if you get the champion, it's $20,000. So all you got to do is go to rockandmanuch.com, and it's presented to you by Lerner Rowe and Right to It. It's only open for the first 1,000 people. Don't miss your shot. Deadline is next Thursday. So that should be super cool. And I put mine in today. Got mine in today.
Okay.
So I can win.
You could win.
So we're eligible to win this bad boy.
When I signed up, it didn't say I wasn't.
Okay.
I saw Jack's name up there.
Okay. All right. I'm going to sign up tonight.
Why not?
Yeah.
Even if you're not eligible, you should still sign up.
Absolutely.
And then
Absolutely
we can banter all year long.
You can compare notes.
Former Sun Devil, NFL quarterback Rudy Carpenter will get his thoughts on the Cards' second preseason game if he watched it, because I know last week he didn't, and I felt bad asking him questions about it. And what he thinks about Sam Levitt is the starter for ASU against Wyoming. So we'll get into that next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Behold. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
ASU football coach Kenny Dillingham named Sam Levitt the starting quarterback for their August 31st season opener against Wyoming. Former Cardinals quarterback Colt McCoy formally announced his retirement from the NFL after a 14-year career. He's headed to the TV broadcast ranks to serve as an analyst. The Mercury continued their push for a playoff spot with a win against the Chicago Sky yesterday. Next up, the Atlanta Dream on Wednesday. D-back second baseman Ketel Marte was placed on the 10-day injured list with a sprained left ankle. Pavin Smith was recalled from AAA Reno. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Any car dealer in Arizona can compete on price. That's what dealers do. But not many dealers can compete on customer satisfaction, like Wright Toyota. Make the right choice. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and online at wrighttoyota.com.
You may not have any experience dealing with car wrecks, but Lerner Rowe does. After your car wreck, you need an attorney to make sure your interests, like car repairs, medical bills, and lost wages, are protected. Finding the right attorney is actually easy. Just look for reputation, experience, and results. Lerner Rowe has thousands of 5-star reviews, decades of experience, and we've recovered billions of dollars for our injured clients. Hurt in a wreck and need a check? Call Lerner Rowe today.
Lerner Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Kick off the football season with Twin Peaks, Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and Fox Sports 910 for our fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. Text PEAKS to 59925 for your chance to win a Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, and more. No purchase necessary. Details at rockandmanuch.com.
Are you sick of fad diets or tired of overpaying for name brand weight loss meds? Semaglutide and tirzepatide, now available at Metier Clinical Services. These injectables are revolutionizing weight loss, starting at just $275 per month. Transform your health today, whether in Arcadia or online at metierpharmacy.com. Our expert team supports you every step of the way. Ready to take control? Contact Metier Clinical Services at 602-835-2675. Visit metierclinicalservices.com. Consult your healthcare provider before starting any weight loss program.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Sarah Spain with iHeart Women's Sports, presented by Capital One. Over the weekend, the Connecticut Sun announced that its game against the Los Angeles Sparks Tuesday night officially sold out. Why is that news? Well, the game will make history as the first WNBA game to be held at TD Garden, home of the Celtics and Bruins. The Sun's 19,156 tickets sold are the largest number of tickets sold to a Connecticut Sun game in franchise history. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Here to talk football is former Sun Devil quarterback, who, by the way, went 3-1 against that team in Tucson.
Carpenter going to go up with time, steps up, looks end zone, got a man, McGahee, touchdown!
And Rudy Carpenter threw that right into the teeth, into the strength of the Wildcat defense.
Rudy Carpenter, now on Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 910 on FM at 99.9 HD2.
All right, former Sun Devil Rudy Carpenter joins us down the right to the guest line. Rudy, just saw that the Arizona State Sun Devils and their head coach, Kenny Dillingham, has announced that redshirt freshman Sam Levitt will get the start. Of course, he's the transfer from Michigan State against Wyoming. Your thoughts on what you know of him, and are you content with this at least here on the 19th of August?
Yeah, to me, it's no surprise. I've been down to ASU at a couple of their practices and, have been able to watch those guys, compete a little bit and play. And, because of that, this is not a move that really surprised me at all. I thought that really once Jaden Rashada left, I thought this was going to be Sam's job. And every time I've watched him practice, he's looked pretty good.
And from that standpoint, when you look at him, Rudy, what are some of the things a lot of Sun Devil fans can expect to see? What were you impressed with?
Well, I mean, it's really hard to tell in practice when you don't have, live bullets. I think that, makes everything different, right? But, when he's not getting hit and they're working in 7-on-7 or they're working in team run or play action pass, third down, whatever. He's a guy that got some experience last year at Michigan State. He's played in some bigger environments. He's been on the field. But to me, out of the group of quarterbacks, he was the guy that possessed the best timing, the best accuracy, the best anticipation, the most consistent decision-making. And on top of that, I think that you might have some guys that are more athletic than him or faster than him. But he's athletic enough. He's fast enough to be able to extend the play and to be able to escape and get out of danger with needed. And get you a first down with his legs on third and medium when he needs to do that. Although it's not, the focal point of his game, he has that ability. And then from what I've heard, I haven't been able to see this, like I said, in practice, but from what I've heard, he's pretty tough, both physically and mentally. And I think that's also a super important factor when trying to be a starting quarterback at a major Division I level.
Rudy, when you talk about athleticism, Sims comes in from Nebraska, really struggled as a quarterback, but to your point, a hell of an athlete, right? How would you utilize him, and would he be the backup, or do you think Trenton Bourguet would be the safe choice to be the backup to Levitt?
Well, that's a much more difficult question for a lot of reasons because we haven't seen a ton of Jeff Sims. When he has played, he's struggled. And then on top of that, you got a guy like Trenton Bourguet, who, in my opinion, probably deserves to be that backup. He's put in his time. He's put in his dues. When he got a chance to play, he was serviceable, did the best he could, did a nice job, showed he was able to compete. In my viewpoint, showed that, he could keep you in a game. He might not be that guy that's going to go out there and win you the game and be a difference maker, but you're not going to lose because of him. And I think as a backup quarterback, that's an important thing. I guess if it was me, I look at this ASU team and look, I'm not trying to bash on them, but I just think that they're going to struggle a little bit. They're not really where they need to be from a talent perspective. They're playing in a very tough conference, tough schedule. So if I'm Kenny Dillingham, I'm going to try to find ways to get use out of every single player on my roster. And if that means Sam Levitt is my starter, great. If that means Trenton Bourguet is my backup, if we get into an extended period of time where a guy's got to come in and play, great. But if I can use Jeff Sims in a wildcat package, in a goal line package, in a short yardage, package where, you can bring a guy in there and basically have a glorified back playing quarterback, that makes it really tough on the defense because now they have to account for all 11 players in the run game. And it's a way when you're on the goal line or you're in a short yardage situation and everything is compact and tight and there's a bunch of bodies down in the box in the line of scrimmage. It's a way for the offense to gain back control from a numbers standpoint and a matchup standpoint. And lastly, like I said, when you're ASU and you are where you are on the roster right now with your talent level, I think you just got to find ways to utilize every single body that can compete for you or that can produce for you on that roster.
Rudy Carpenter is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Rudy, let me follow up then with that. Are you saying that you might see Arizona State's offense try to do a lot more of ball control because last season they ran the ball relatively effectively? You just chronicled how good this Big 12 conference is and how difficult their schedule is. So if you run the ball, you eat more time off the clock, try to shorten the game. Could that be a concept that fans might see as the season gets ready to start?
I mean, I have no idea when it comes to that. I would imagine that this is just a pure guess, and knowing Kenny a little bit and that coaching staff, I think Kenny's a smart guy, and I think Kenny's going to try to find ways to get the most out of the entire roster, top to bottom. I think that, ASU feels good about their team, and I think they feel good about their quarterback, and I think Kenny's going to run his offense. I don't think that because they're going to a new conference or because maybe from a talent standpoint, they're still trying to catch up, that they're going to, throw everything out that they've done. Kenny's going to change, his identity completely, because I don't see that. I think Kenny's going to be Kenny Dillingham, and he's going to run the type of offense that got him to, be the head coach at ASU. That's my guess. I think they're going to try to utilize Sam Levitt's talent as a thrower as much as they can, as a competitor as much as they can. I think that I literally think that, Kenny's a smart guy. He's an innovative guy. He's going to do everything he can to put his guys in a position to win and to put them in the best place to win. All I'm saying is that, I like when, you saw like back in the day with Chris Leak and Tim Tebow when he was young, when, you have a quarterback that can do, something special or can provide you something that you don't have, you should utilize it. And when you can, kind of like ASU had back a couple of years ago with Michael Eubanks or something, when you can have a big, strong, athletic quarterback in a goal line situation or a short yardage situation, and he can, run quarterback power, quarterback counters, quarterback ISOs, or he can just run the old school student body sweep right or left with him running behind all the lead blockers and create the numbers for you. That's what you're trying to create, is numbers and matchups, and you can get it back on the positive side for you. I would utilize it. And I think Kenny's a smart guy, and he might look at that and say, hey, let's try to use him some way.
Rudy, it's good to hear that you've been out to a couple practices. Are we going to see the next USC on the sidelines here on Frank Cush Field? We're going to see a bunch of alum hanging out on the sideline this fall?
Oh, I have no idea about that, but I will give credit where credit is due. I've been a complainer since I've been out of ASU. I will admit I have been a complainer that ASU doesn't always do a good job staying tapped in with their alum, and they're not always inviting with their past alum and trying to get guys around. I've complained, and as much as I've complained, I've done a terrible job of not taking advantage of the opportunity. Life is busy, but I do have to give them credit. Ever since Kenny Dillingham took the job at ASU, without a doubt, that football program and the support staff have done a much better job than any previous coaching staff trying to reach and trying to get guys in and around their football team. And I give Kenny and the staff there a lot of credit for that.
I love it. Here you are coming out, Rudy, saying I was a complainer. I love that. I'm glad that you're giving credit where credit's due, and I think a lot of alum are happy to hear that.
Look, I'm somebody that doesn't mind telling the truth. I've always done it, even when it's not in my favor. And yeah, I mean, I was as loud as anybody complaining, and now they're trying to do something different, and I really respect it. And I just think it's really good for those young players, or the players in general, just to know, who the guys are that came before them. I think it's really important to know when you got a guy like Danny White showing up at your practice. I think it's important to know when you got Jeff Van Raphorst there, the only Sun Devil quarterback to win a Rose Bowl. I think it's really important when you got a guy like, Derek Hagan, who pops around the program and was a coach there, because when he graduated, he was the Pac-10's all-time leading wide receiver, not just, school history, but the whole Pac-10. That's what it was at the time, right? I mean, I think those things are very important. And I think the more that the players understand the history of the school and the guys that came before them, I think that's an important thing.
He's Rudy Carpenter, former Sun Devil, and you'll probably see him at some games this year. So, Rudy, thank you as always, man. Good stuff today.
Take care.
You got it. Rudy Carpenter joining us here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy.
He fessing up a little bit there.
Yeah,
I like that.
He's always been very outspoken,
Sure.
and that's why we love having him on every Monday, especially after wins and losses for the Sun Devil program. And he's an agent. He's got his own business. He's really dialed in, and I'm glad to see him out there. And hopefully it'll never get to a USC sideline, but I think it'd be pretty cool to see a sideline with a bunch of alum.
Well, Kenny's been very open about inviting these guys back, and that's one of the things he said. We want all the alumni to be incorporated, and he's one of them.
Right.
And to be incorporated, we want those guys. You just heard Rudy talk about it. Danny White, Derek Hagan. You look at the J.D. Hills from years go by. I mean, even the modern guys, come on out here. They want to – let's talk about our rich history that we're trying to get back to in order to have some kind of a semblance that when these guys come out, they can say, well, he's on the Ring of Honor, and he's a Ring of Honor, and he's a Hall of Famer. And then there's this guy named Mike Haynes. He's part of the Hall of Fame. And there's other guys. Yeah. But, I mean, they need to know the history of why they're there. And maybe you stick around because of, knowing that you have a good shot if you're good enough to move on to the next level. And not only that, guys, not everybody's going to make it. But if you got those connections in the community and you get your degree You don't make football, you stay. Those are great contacts for you. And the networking, Rock, the networking is huge
and
in this valley. Exactly right. On top of that.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state. That's All City Towing. They're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, customer service personnel. And they got great benefits. And they also have set work schedules, a healthy 401k, employer match, employer paid life insurance, health benefits, a monthly fuel allowance. I can go on and on. If you're ready to take your career to a next level, just visit them online at allcitytowing.com. That's All City Towing, where your future is on the move. We'll continue. We're out here at the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Appreciate you hanging out with us today. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Attention drivers, stay alert, Arizona. All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing storage services contractor, supports the move over law. If you see emergency lights, move over and slow down. Let's keep our roads safe for everyone. Sponsored by All City Towing.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks is always adding exciting cocktails to the menu, like the expertly balanced Sincoro Hall of Fame Margarita. Try it at your local lodge today.
Introducing Smidge, the game-changing, ready-to-drink beverage that's shaking up the market. With just 2.5% alcohol and only 50 calories in a 12-ounce serving, Smidge is perfect for the sober curious. Smidge better taste, fewer calories, and double the fun. Try it today.
In the fast lane of life, your fuel should keep up. Time to check out G2G protein bars, your ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether it's a workday, gym session, or navigating daily chaos, G2G has got you covered. Find them now at your local Costco in the refrigerated section, or explore all 8 fantastic flavors at G2GBar.com. Great tasting and packed with protein, so keep pace with life in the fast lane with G2G protein bars.
Attention all football fans. Old Spice Swagger Deodorant 4-pack is back at Costco. Get ready to unleash the greatest smell in the NFL. Old Spice Swagger is the ultimate 24/7 odor protection for all the football fanatics out there when used daily. But here's the catch, folks. This limited time offer won't last forever, so head to Costco and grab your 4-pack of Swagger Deodorant. Don't let those game-winning moments be overshadowed by unwanted odors. Get your Old Spice Swagger Deodorant now.
I don't like onions. I'm doing paleo. Do they have gluten-free bagels? You can't juggle every food request for a work event, or can you? EasyCater is the all-in-one tech platform that makes it easy to get restaurant catering for work, with options for any group size, taste, dietary preference, or budget. EasyCater saves your favorite restaurants and orders, which makes reordering a snap. Need to modify an order? No problem. So when it comes to food for work, make it easy on yourself with EasyCater. Start your order at easycater.com.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Let's get ready for football!
It's Football at 50. The latest top football story trending this hour, right here with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910 and the iHeart Radio app.
All right, former Arizona Cardinal quarterback Colt McCoy has decided to retire after 14 seasons with 5 teams. He officially retired and is moving to the broadcast booth. He'll be working for the NBC games for the Big Ten, which he'll make his debut on September 7th with Colorado, Nebraska. What a way to start the season.
That's a good game.
Of course, he had a hell of a career for the Texas Longhorns back then when it was in the Big 12. Now it's SEC for them. But he'll be doing Big Ten games. So he said, quote, "Thank you, football," and excited for the next chapter.
Very serviceable quarterback. Did well at times. Like the last year he was here, cut by the Cardinals. Something was amiss. I don't know if he was injured or not, but I think they looked at Clayton Tune as that guy,
I'm with
the
you.
up-and-comer. But I was like, why would you cut that veteran? I mean, so something was there. But, I mean, he had a hell of a career. I mean, to be a backup and a very serviceable backup in the National Football League.
Made a lot of good money being a backup, and you can do that now in the NFL.
The Bucs have released pass rusher Randy Gregory. He never reported to camp. He was fined over $1.3 million for his absences. He's suing the NFL and the Denver Broncos because he's trying to take this drug. I don't know what the drug does, but it's supposed to help with some anxiety issues,
Sure, mood
and,
swings,
and stress, and he can't seem to get the NFL to approve it, which I understand. But if it's truly a medication for a disorder, social anxiety disorder or post-traumatic stress, then, man, you make an exception.
Well, you know what? It's interesting because the NFL, they seem so contradictory at times. They're promoting health, the mental piece, the health piece, the injury piece. And if this is a drug that he needs, that it's prescribed by doctors.
Yes.
It's prescribed. Why could they not make an exception and say, look, this is what I need. This is what works for me. I mean, and then to take that. So, you know what? He's taking on the big, bad National Football League. And I think he made a statement, the reason why he probably didn't report to camp, he needs his medicine if he's going to go to camp, handle the competition, handle the anxiety, whatever the issues, mental health issues he has. And especially at a time when we're promoting, if you're suicidal, we got help. If you got mental health issues, we got help. I mean, this is a drug that is something that for whatever reason they want to improve upon. So I see this going to court. I really do. I'm just wondering if the NFL accepts this, if he's allowed to come back, because he sounds like to me he's not going to go to a training camp or go play without this medicine, which I don't blame him. I really don't blame him.
That's what it sounds like. Look, I'm with you on that, Manuch. I don't understand on why the NFL goes overboard sometimes to promote how they have improved the game so much. And then this happens. Well, it's amazing to me why you, as Rock stated, why you cannot make an exception for a player.
Well, and that's it. I mean, if this is what works, why? And it's prescribed by doctors. He's not getting this off the street. So again, the contradiction abounds in the National Football League. And we don't know the entire story, but I don't think that Gregory would pretty much give up his career. And it sounds like in order for him to continue, he needs this medicine to move on with his career. I think those are some of the things that I think the contradictions abound, as we know, in the National Football League.
Some starters have been named in the National Football League. Gardner Minshew is the Raiders' new starter, and Jalen Daniels is the Commanders' new starter.
Well, we knew it was going to be Jalen Daniels the day they drafted him, so that's no surprise. But, Manuch, let me ask you then about Gardner Minshew. Came out of Washington State, played great there, bumped around a little bit with different teams. He had a nice run at Jacksonville as their starter, and then the wheels kind of came off the wagon a little bit. So what happened to him, or did no one respect the kind of game that he has?
Well, he came in as a backup. I thought at Indianapolis he did well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done well when he's played, but they're paying him to the tune of $25 million on top of that he's making. I watched that first half of that Oakland, Las Vegas, Dallas game, and he looked okay. He missed a lot of throws or whatever, but he got the experience. O'Connell going to his second year. That's what they're going on, is experience.
Aiden O'Connell.
And if I would think that for now he's the guy. He can be a very good quarterback. Again, just learning a brand new system. With what I saw the other night, didn't really get you in trouble. Didn't really do anything outstanding, but he can make plays if he has to.
I saw him make plays when he was the starter in Jacksonville, and he had them competing for a playoff spot, and then he got hurt. He injured his shoulder.
And the whole Jaden Daniels thing doesn't surprise me. I think they give him enough reps. They may not play him this last preseason game just to get him rested. But, guys, the guy that I think we're all kind of waiting for to see if they name him the starter after two really good preseason games, looked good in command, is Bo Nix. And Sean Payton won't name anybody right now, but I got a funny feeling that I would think toward the end of this week before they play the Cardinals on Sunday, that Bo Nix would be named the starter for this Denver Broncos team. And if that happens, how much will he play against this Arizona Cardinals team?
All right, let me follow up then with Bo Nix. I watched some of that game, and he is already in command of that offense. Did I see that correctly?
Yes, you did. He's sharp. And the one thing I watched some of that too is that they mentioned he's played a lot of football.
He has.
He was like Brock Purdy, 40-some games. He's played 60-some games.
Yes.
And he looks in command. I had one touchdown pass call back because he was beyond the line of scrimmage, but he moves well. He throws well. He throws with a lot of confidence. and he's picking up this Sean Payton offense pretty good. Now, Sean's kind of spoon feeding him this offense, but what I've seen in watching him, he makes the read, gets it out, and he's very decisive. He's very accurate. Was he 8 for 10 the other day or something like that?
Yeah, terrific.
First 2 drives of the game, right down and scored.
And
so
he ran for a touchdown.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time. I would think this week before the final preseason game, I would think that Sean Payton would name him the starter.
Football at 50. There you have it. It's brought to you today by El
Bandito.
El Bandito Yankee Tequila.
Break out the Bandito.
Hey,
it's
you did
not
it. You said
just
it right.
regular tequila. It's pure outlaw spirit. Yeah. It's the official tequila, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Experience for yourself. Ask for it at your favorite watering hole. Break out the Bandito. Hey, coming up next hour number 2, 2 o'clock hour. Associated Press came out with the top 25 changes for this college football season. Some are obvious, some are not. We're going to get out. We'll get right to that, and then we'll catch up with NFL Network and the CW Networks. Mike Yan.
10.
That's all. And hour number 2.
Clear.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Choosing the right lawyer after a car wreck is important. You need to consider the law firm's experience, results, and reputation. Lerner Rowe stands above other law firms when it comes to experience and results, helping over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries. When it comes to reputation, we have thousands of 5-star reviews, and year after year, we have been voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. Call us today and let us put our experience, proven results, and reputation to work for you.
Lerner Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Kick off football season with Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light for a season-long fantastic tailgating giveaway. Text PEAKS to 59925 every day for your chance to win the amazing grand prize. A Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, pizza oven, cornhole set, portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector, inflatable screen, cases of Cocoa 5, a cooler, and Wild Gear tumblers. No purchase necessary. Just text PEAKS to 59925. Standard message and data rates apply. Make this football season unforgettable with Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Been hungry for some college football? Well, we finally get a taste this weekend. Don't miss any of the action. Jump in at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's a small but mighty slate of games for week 0, including a big matchup in Ireland. This is going to be DraftKings' biggest college football season to date. Enjoy the ride now all the way through the expanded playoffs. Plus, all newbies getting into the college spirit, here's something extra special. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings all college football season long. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code 910. That's code 910 for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus, Arizona only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at dkng.co/ftball.
Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join our growing team at Progressive Insurance. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Broadcasting from the Raffy Law Group Studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
I'm at back second baseman Ketel Marte, placed on the 10-day injured list with a sprained left ankle. Haven Smith was recalled from AAA Reno. They visit the Marlins today. ASU football coach Kenny Dillingham named Sam Levitt the starting quarterback for their August 31st season opener against Wyoming. Former Cardinals quarterback Colt McCoy formally announced his retirement from the NFL after a 14-year career. He's headed to the TV broadcast ranks to serve as an analyst. And the Mercury continued their push for a playoff spot with a win against Chicago yesterday. Next up for them, the Atlanta Dream on Wednesday. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Look for a hot day to start you off on this Monday. Temperatures right around 111 degrees. Keep in mind we are going to be under an excessive heat warning until tomorrow evening. Clear skies today and tonight with those overnight lows right around 88. For the Fox 10 Weather Experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Arizona Game and Fish Department. Arizona offers unlimited opportunities to fish, from ponds and reservoirs to rivers and lakes. No matter if you're a beginner or a pro, a fishing license is your passport to all the great spots to cast the line in Arizona. Buy your fishing license today at azgfd.gov.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox Sports 910.
Out here at Casino, Arizona. And we'll catch up with one Casey Walsh from the Sportsbook here in about 45 minutes. Mike Yam at 2:30. Associated Press released their top 25 changes this year. And it all gets started 9 a.m. this Saturday from Dublin, Ireland, Florida State, and Georgia Tech. I bought some tickets for something yesterday. Take a wild guess what it is.
Gambling tickets.
Nope.
Oh.
You're going to go to Europe for the Ryder Cup.
No, it did that last year, Italy.
Okay, I thought you were going to go again next year.
So don't tell me that you're going to take an all-nighter to Dublin and go to the game.
No.
Okay.
You want to try, Jax?
Oh, it's associated with college football?
Nope.
Oh, well, what the hell?
I have no idea.
I got it. You got tickets to go to the British Open.
Yes.
Oh,
in Ireland.
Wow.
I was trying to put the two together.
Next July, we bought tickets for Saturday.
Wow.
And if you recall, it's at I think it's Port Rush, the Royal Port Rush.
Mm-hmm.
And Shane Lowry, if you remember, won in his home land like I think 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And the Open hadn't been there for 68 years. And go with the same group, my sister and stuff, and we went to Ireland for the Ryder Cup. So I can now check all the boxes because this is the only major I haven't gone to, and I'm going to. I love majors. I mean, it's my favorite thing. The PGA is in Charlotte this year. It's been there multiple times. That's where my family lives. So I'll be able to go to that and then this one. And I would love to see if I could try to make all four in 1 year. You hit all those two, and then of course you hit the Masters, which is the toughest ticket. I've been fortunate to go there 3 times, but not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm just excited to tell somebody who may appreciate it.
You might as well tell us because we appreciate it.
And I thought that was a good.
So how does that impact me?
So we can look.
Thanks, you. I just thought Dublin, Ireland. It was a nice segue into buying tickets. British Open.
So when you go to the Wells Fargo, didn't you tell us that that's where you lost your dad?
Yes. For about 4 hours. So don't remind me.
So Mr. Morocco's not going to the British Open with you this time?
Well, we haven't asked, but I think it'd be in our best interest at 80 years old. Let's just stay with the ones in the United States. I mean, that one is a little bit better, so we'll handle that. So here's the schedule. Saturday, 9 a.m., as I mentioned, Florida State, Georgia Tech. Montana State and New Mexico at 1 o'clock. First one's at 9. And then there's a game after that, SMU in Nevada. And then Sunday, we got a Sunday night game at 9 o'clock. Delaware State is in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Okay.
Football season, the changes. And here are the obvious ones. We know the playoff expands from 4 to 12. We know postseason games are on campus for the first time ever, at least decades, right?
Yes.
So what'll happen is the 4 first-round playoff games will be hosted by the higher seeds on December 19th and the 20th. The national championship game will be played January 20th. This is the longest season in college football history. Think about it. We're starting this weekend, and we're going to go to basically the end of January. How great is that?
You got to love it. Love it. You like that going elongated. When you go to 18 games, you'll have the National Football League going to mid-February before the Super Bowls play.
Fiesta Bowl tickets went on sale today, for the quarterfinals, so that's pretty cool. So we know SEC added Texas and Oklahoma. Big Ten goes west as they added USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington State. So now they have 18. Washington, excuse me. Big 12 expanded to 16. Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah. And then ACC, they stretch coast to coast now. They got SMU in Dallas, and they got Stanford and Cal from the Bay Area. Now, there's still a Pac-12, but it's only Washington State and Oregon State. We'll catch up with Mike Yam because the CW Network is going to basically carry every one of their games. He's going to know those teams pretty well.
I think so.
But they'll play 6 games each against Mountain West schools, and they are not eligible for the conference title in the Mountain West if they're playing them. But that may change down the road. Now, here's some I call less than obvious. Divisions are mostly a thing of the past. Of course, we know the SEC, the Big Ten, they dropped them this season.
Right.
And the only bowl subdivision conference that are splitting their teams is the Sun Belt, which I don't know if anybody of us can name 5 schools in the Sun Belt. Army is joining a conference for the first time since a 7-year stint from 98 to 2004. They'll be in the Conference USA. So the Black Knights, they were independent, and they'll join Navy in the American Athletic Conference. When I say Conference USA, that's what they were in that 7th stint. So that's pretty cool. There are now 134 schools. Okay, so if somebody asks you how many FBS schools there are. Now, quarterback Dylan Gabriel starts his 6th season
That's amazing.
in college football. 3rd different team. He had 3 years at UCF and 2 at Oklahoma. I think that's pretty cool. We have a college football player that is in his 9th year. Can you name him?
Is it a tight end?
Yes, it is.
Oh, man. Oh.
He started his career at Oregon, and then he had some eligibility extended because of some injuries and the pandemic.
Right.
He's now going to be at Miami. He's 26.
Damn.
26. That's crazy.
26. I had 5 years of pro football under my belt.
You're not even 26 yet.
24.
Yeah.
His name is Cam McCormick.
Cam McCormick.
9th year. How about that? Good trivia question to use at the watering hole. There are now 2-minute warnings in college football at the end of the 2nd and 4th quarters. Coaches will now be able to communicate with players on the field with radio devices.
Hallelujah.
In helmet.
Yeah.
That's a no.
Fine.
Why?
You know what?
No. It's a football. It's a game outside. Come on.
Hey, look.
Why's technology got to be involved in everything?
I agree. The signal callers and the signs, it's so nostalgic.
Yeah, I love it. I'll never forget. It was Huggerson, Dwayne, Dale
Halgerson, at West
Virginia.
Dana Halgerson.
Dana, thank you, was playing ASU in the bowl game. Todd Graham.
I remember this.
And they were mocking him with all those big signs like Hawaii and all these, Baylor, all these schools that he'd been, just screwing with them. And, because Todd Graham had his history of good and bad.
Sure he did.
And I think that's great.
Yeah, I think the one thing is
let's just might as well give everybody a cell phone out there.
From a quarterback's perspective, okay, if you get dinged and beat up a little bit, finding the live guy, and I love the signals, but I think now the college football is NFL light. Let's face it, with all the NIL going on, everything going on. So why not pattern what you're doing? It's like the minor leagues. You're going to call it into the middle linebacker. You're going to call it the quarterback. Saves time, get quicker plays in. Coach can give you a couple little tidbits in your ear before they shut it off. I love it. I think it's great. The whole signaling thing, I've been there and done that. I've seen that. I've been the signal. I've been the guy who's seen it. Sometimes it's a lot of stuff going on. Guys are coming in. Guys are here, and you're trying to find. You might miss a signal. The guy gives it to you in your ear, and for some reason he hiccups or whatever, you just go, give it to me again. It's cleaner that way. You get in, get out of the huddle, make them better that way.
Here's what I liked. Here's what I liked about it best. Jackson, I know you're a recent player at Montana. You can identify with this. They used to have 3 or 4 guys on the sideline doing different
They
signals.
still loved it.
Yeah, I love that.
The dummy signal.
Yeah,
Now that goes away.
It was great.
That's what I just said. You got guys doing the dummy signals. You guys
but
you got to know who the live guy
They
is.
would have 3 or 4 guys doing signals.
Yes.
I was going to ask, though, but don't you think, like, helmet communication, if it's a quarterback that's a freshman, would be tougher than versus one that's a senior? And that teams would more go towards signals because there's 11 guys that see the same thing instead of one guy who's going to hear it?
When you say a signal, you got to designate because it's split right, is it split left?
But what I'm saying is 18 years old, starting against Alabama, loud environment, helmet communication, I think would be tougher.
It is. They're so close to their ears that they just cover. They can hear it. It's better. Let me tell you why it's better for freshmen because that coach can say, look, we're going to go blah, 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 split right, 63X post corner, read the safety, understand where this guy is. He can explain stuff. If they're signaling stuff and there's something he's got a coach call into that guy, he can't communicate that.
Here's what's going to happen, though. Someone's going to be able to tap into that frequency.
No way.
And they are going to steal sign. Michigan's screwed this year. They're screwed. Michigan, they win 5 games.
And that's the other thing, too. They can't steal signs via the communication because they're calling it in.
Yeah, they have a better shot. Come on. If people can hack into a freaking bank, they're going to be able to hack into a frequency in a football game.
Nobody has hacked into NFL frequencies
that
at all.
Real quick, as we finish up this Associated Press changes in the college football season, we know Saban's out, who'll be part of ESPN Game Day. Chip Kelly's now the assistant coach for the first time since 2008. He is now at Ohio State as the OC. Bobby Petrino's back, who had a successful run at Arkansas. Then they had all the scandals, and he is back there as an offensive coordinator. Bill O'Brien takes over as the head coach at Boston College. Now, it's his first college head coaching job since that whole thing happened at Penn State.
Yes.
And this year marks the debut of the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl.
That's great.
How about that? It's the first partnership between an alcohol brand and a college bowl game. So there you have some good stuff there.
Groundwork broken from that standpoint.
And by the way, so if you haven't heard, our 12-team predictor is available right now at rockandmanuch.com where you can win $20,000. It's free. Just put in the 12 teams you think the 12 teams you think will be in the 12-team playoff, and it's yours. Deadline is August 29th. So check that out. Coming up is our G2G Protein Bar Game Changers from the weekend. That will be next. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G Protein Bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G Protein Bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Tune in Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. for the Crest Insurance Group Sun Devil Report with Coach Charlie Rago. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust, service you can count on. Every Thursday on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. Monsoon season is upon us. Be proactive today. Go to state48roofing.com. Scan the QR code below. We want to take care of you. Be proactive. Get your maintenance done. We are home of the hashtag sexy roof status.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they've won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
Get out of the heat and play at Dukes.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
A huge new game room is open with foosball, pool tables, shuffleboard, darts, and Pop-A-Shot basketball.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
With 3 10-foot TV screens and dozens more big screens, you'll find every game you're looking for.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
Voted best sports bar by New Times.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
3 huge patios on the Greenbelt, all doggy friendly.
Where Dukes? Where Dukes? Miller and McDowell. Scottsdale.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Meant for mornings, The Drive with Jody Ayler. Listen tomorrow, 6 to 10 on Fox Sports 910.
You're hot. All right, let's get to our G2G bars. Game changers for the weekend. Of course, G2G protein bars now available at Costco in the refrigerated section. Grab one if you're on the go. They have all kinds of different flavors. Go online to g2gbar.com and check it out for yourself. So this is where we kind of talk about some positive game changers from the weekend. And I'm going to kind of go outside the box a little bit. Oakland A's fans.
Okay.
So the final Bay Bridge Series game at Oakland Coliseum took place yesterday. And they had just close to 33,000 people watching the A's and Giants battle it out. And this is the last time these cross-town rivals will play in the same city like that. The main concourse was packed. All the sections were packed. Giants won 4-2 in 10 innings, so it was a really good game. Came down to the wire. And it was a busy weekend. I'm sure they ran out of all kinds of concessions there because they're not used to all these people, because Saturday's game drew close to 38,000.
Wow.
And the A's won that in a shutout. Yeah. So here, through 123 games this season, the A's are averaging just over 20,000 fans on the road and at home. They're only averaging 9,900 in the 60 games at the Coliseum.
It's amazing to me.
Like a minor league team.
Yeah. Well, it's unfortunate. And I love the venue of going to Oakland Coliseum.
Oh, it's a piece of crap.
It's a garbage.
It's an awful.
I like playing on the field. I like the field. I like
what does that have to do with you playing on the field? We're talking baseball.
And I've been to a few games there as well, too.
So you played on the baseball field?
Yes, we did.
You did? You were a baseball player on the baseball field.
When I was with the Bills, the Raiders played on that same field. I like the venue. I like the field.
Oh, my God.
There were the whole 9 yards.
I'm telling you right now,
I can't say what I want to say on the air.
No,
it's a dump.
Yeah, thank you.
It is now.
It was a dump when I was covering there. Yeah, for baseball. Yeah,
you just like to be on the road because you were in a uniform in the NFL. You didn't care where stadium you played in.
The locker rooms aside, I like the venue. I like the fans. I liked in reference to the weather, the temperature,
the black hole,
all the above. It was a fun place to play as far as being on the road.
Did you feel safe?
Absolutely felt safe.
Oh, that's
talking late 70s, early 80s, man.
Yeah.
That was the deal.
In the 2000s, when the of course the Raiders were playing there, and they would have these towers, police towers, with freaking guns, and they're patrolling all around because the crowd.
Maybe for Raiders games, but for A's games, we've been there many times, taking the BART there, going to Oakland A's games. Going and visiting.
Did you live
there.
in the Bay Area?
No, we got a lot of recruiting trips. I was with Motorola.
So
we go in there and do career fairs.
So you'd be on the field as a Motorola guy? Where you guys
get pretty
10
close.
by 10.
Hey, when there's only 8,000 people there, you get pretty damn close to the field. But I loved the venue as far as going there. But I love playing there, and I love visiting it, despite the locker room.
So
he was selling phones there.
With that, we are going to get into a little bit later tailgating. Okay. Which teams throw the best pregame parties? What are the top tailgating spots across all the NFL stadiums? It's a really cool story that we will share coming up at 3 o'clock. All right. Manuch,
I gotta
who's
go.
your G2G?
I got to go with Bo Nix. I think soon to be the starter named by Sean Payton for the Broncos.
Yeah, what a stretch that is today, Manuch.
But he just, this last game, 8 for 9, 140.7 passer rating. Looks comfortable throwing the football, 80 yards passing, had the 1 touchdown pass, had 1 called back. The other thing I like about him as a rookie is getting the ball down the field, matriculating the ball down the field, pumping it down the field, over 9 yards per completion. Runs very, very well. So I think that my G2G protein bar game changer is going to be throughout the season. My prediction, that'll be one Bo Nix, who had a heck of a game, second preseason game to lead his team in preseason down.
Can we mark this tape? This is the biggest prediction of the year.
I'm going out on a leaf here.
This is almost. I put it at the same level as Jimmy B saying Oregon.
Watch out for Oregon.
Watch out for Oregon.
Well, Rock, I could have told you and me, we could have said that when Bo Nix got drafted first round that he was going to start this year.
Yeah. Well,
there was not a doubt that he was
especially
start
in Denver.
And I agree with that, but I think he's convinced Sean Payton they can handle all the above with was it Stidham, the veteran that's in front of him.
Jared Stidham.
Yeah, Jared Stidham's the guy in front of him. And I think what he's done in the preseason to show what he's shown has pretty much not going to go out on a limb yet, convinced him that he's going to be the starter. He should be named the starter this week.
I'm surprised, Rock, you didn't throw a party for me because I did not have Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese as my G2G performances over the weekend. I thought that would have been at least a party favor, something like that. But no, I went outside the box as well. And Mike Tyson, remember, he was going to fight Jake Paul in Dallas. He had an episode, a health scare on a flight one day, and so they had to cancel that flight. Well, they had this big press conference in New York. Tyson's there. Jake Paul is there, and they have rescheduled that fight now. Coming up November 15th, it'll be in Dallas. Mike Tyson, 58 years of age, against Jake Paul, who's like mid-20s and has a 10-1 record in boxing. And I know we're going to sit here and we're going to say, nobody wants to see 58-year-old Mike Tyson and this Jake Paul clown. Well, but he's going to watch. As we get closer to the fight.
Watch.
I know you won't, but as we get closer to the fight and the hype train gets longer and longer and longer, people will indeed watch Tyson and
I'd
Jake
much
Paul.
rather take that $79.99 and put it in that slot machine right there.
I agree.
And it'll go just as fast as watching that garbage.
Did they ever disclose what his health scare was?
They did not. Well, they said it was ulcer related.
Okay.
But they didn't, say it was kind of like a statement from his peeps.
So there you have it.
Ulcer
Our
related.
G2G. Good job, boys.
I was going to say it's on Netflix, actually. It's not on.
Yeah.
It won't be $80. It'll be $10.
Whatever Netflix is?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Still in the slot machine, though, that $10 you put in the slot machine.
Or you might watch it on Netflix.
No, I'm not going to watch it.
Okay.
There's just no interest.
Okay.
All right. Let me throw this out to you guys. The NFL is in talks to have their players playing flag football in the 2028 LA games. Are you okay? If say Kyler Murray wants to play on the flag football team for Team USA, would you be okay with it? Because there are conversations right now with the Players Association, and there are some players that would love that opportunity to represent their country. And this is no different than, say, the NBA and other sports that get to, be professional athletes.
I wouldn't have any heartburn over that. I mean, it's flag. I mean, with the chance
I don't know. When I first said it, both you guys were like, "Wow!" Now
I
had to think about it.
Well, now that it's
because I give you the NBA scenario.
Yeah, and I think that if they want to go represent, it's flag. Very limited chances of getting hurt, and here it is. It'll be in preseason. Now, my question would be, you've got that till mid-August is the Olympics. Do you put the preseason on hold, or do those guys that get picked to go play for the team while the preseason is going? How are they going to manipulate that for guys to go play and represent their country versus training camp going on? I think that'll be the core issue for the Players Association is, and what kind of compensation, all that above. But I mean, if there's a USA flag team versus Brazil or Australia, whatever. If you got the best, so be it.
And it's scheduled for July 14th to July 30th.
Okay.
So you would have to allow your players.
You'd have to.
And that plays right into training camp.
Sure,
right?
it would be.
So you could make it work. I mean, the NHL and Major League Baseball, that path is not quite as complicated.
Did they already set a precedent where Mr. Simone Biles was in Paris watching his wife perform? Simone, he didn't have to attend
Jonathan
training
Owens.
camp. Well, I know his name, but it's Mr. Simone Biles to everybody.
It's not like we call you Mr. Brinston.
No, you should though.
But here's the thing, though, guys. When you think about this, if you go back to baseball and you look at the World Baseball Classic, if I recall, Edwin Diaz got hurt. Jose Altuve, he got hurt, and these are high-profile stars that got hurt during spring training when the World Baseball Classic was going on.
But they opted to play. They wanted to play, Rock. So
I understand that.
They wanted to play. They understand.
And these NFL players may want to play too.
And if that's the deal, and they get the green light from their teams or from, the whole thing is, what does your contract say? Because a lot of those contracts are prohibiting you from doing other outside activities, skiing, skydiving, motorcycle ride, whatever, blah, 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 blah. That's why I think they'd have to clear this with the Players Association. Say, look, there's a new Olympic sport called flag football, and we'd like to get the best of the best, and if they want to play, to come. Now, would they approve that? But here's the thing, to your point, Rock, the teams may not approve them going and playing because of their contract. Hey, you're under contract. Any outside activity is forbidden. So there's some hurdles, I think, for the players to go through this.
But you could make a case that the other three leagues allow it.
I got you. NBA.
Well, the NBA is the best case.
Yeah, and that's it. And so do they follow that guideline? Because think of the Players Association or the
NHL,
owners.
same thing.
Yeah, and then the owners might say, hey, look, I'd love to have Kyler Murray, Michael Bidwill. I'd love to have Kyler Murray in the Olympics representing us, quarterback for the USA team. We may have 2 or 3 quarterbacks. But there's some hurdles, I think, to get cleared. If you want to use the model of the NBA or, baseball when it comes back to the Olympics, those are some of the things you want to take a look at.
Hey, we're going to catch up with NFL Network and the CW Network's college football studio host, Mike Yam. That's the home of the Pac-12 and the ACC. We are going to talk to him next. Always enjoy having him on our show. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
This is what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Diamondback second baseman Ketel Marte was placed on the 10-day injured list with a sprained left ankle. Pavin Smith was called up from AAA Reno. Smith is manning first and batting fifth in the lineup against the Marlins, while Kevin Newman slots in for Marte at second base and bats ninth. Brandon Font gets the ball. ASU football coach Kenny Dillingham named Sam Levitt the starting quarterback for their August 31st season opener against Wyoming. And former Cardinals quarterback Colt McCoy formally announced his retirement after a 14-year career. He's headed to the TV ranks as an analyst. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910. Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Looking for a place where everyone is welcome? Come to Azul Bar and Grill in Phoenix. Not your typical sports bar, Azul is the ultimate hangout spot for friends and families alike. Enjoy live music, catch your favorite games, play some fun games, and savor delicious food in a vibrant atmosphere. Visit us at 3134 West Carefree Highway in the Tremonto Plaza. Don't miss out on our daily events and specials at azulgrill.com. Azul Bar and Grill, a great time, but a better time with you.
Life's a sprint. Meet G2G protein bars. Grab and go fuel for the office, links, and daily grind. Score an 8-pack at Costco or explore flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, power-packed G2G protein bars. Setting your pace.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Ready for some football? Join our annual Pro Football Pick'em contest today. You could win $5,000 and amazing prizes from Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. Don't miss out on the excitement. Head to FanPick'em.com. That's FanPick'em.com.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
With Progressive Insurance, we make it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you will earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit progressive.com.
He's good. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com. That's progressive.com.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
You're out. For our next guest, he's going to be really busy this fall season as he'll be hosting the CW Network studio show every Saturday with a bunch of rotating panel of experts as the CW will be coast to coast. They got the ACC, they got the Pac-12, and of course, he'll also be doing the NFL Network. Mike Yam joins us. How you doing, Mike? What's going on? How are you today?
Doing great, guys. Always appreciate the invite.
Thank you for joining us. So you're going to know every single nugget with Washington State and Oregon State, aren't you? Because you're on a lot. They're on every week. The CW.
Give me a couple weeks to make sure that the prep is in hand, and we'll get you a little bit more than just some of those preseason nuggets. But you're right, man. Certainly looking forward to it, and I think it's just a really good spot from a Pac-12 perspective. You know, one of the biggest issues that league had was eyeballs and distribution, and now that it's just the two teams, which is unfortunate from a fan's perspective, and certainly for a lot of the athletes on those campuses. You know, the fact that they're now in 100% of homes across the country, to me, is certainly a big win for the league and those two teams that are still there.
And another win for us fans, specifically here in Arizona, is bringing back Tom Brenneman. Tom is a friend of ours. I'm a little biased because we both went to Ohio U, and I'm a big fan of what he's been doing in his career, and I'm glad that he'll be one of the leads on the CW.
Yeah, look, it's big time. And I think even just beyond Tom, too, and got a chance to spend some time with him at ACC Media Days. You know, clearly there's, in the recent history that, and some of the issues that he had while he was on air, I think just even getting to know him a little bit more and understanding, look, we all make mistakes. I think if we're all judged on our lowest, sort of like the worst thing that we've done, I don't know how many people would be working right now. So thrilled for him to get another opportunity, and he's going to get paired up with Max Brown, who I've known for a bunch of years, who spent some time obviously at USC as their quarterback and at Pitt. So those guys will be doing the ACC games, and I know Ted Robinson was on with you guys most recently. He'll be teamed with Ryan Leaf. So across the board, man, just a lot of really good dudes.
And Mike, I can imagine for you kind of leading the charge, part of the band being all together at doggone Yogi Roth. I mean, he flew the coop, for crying out loud. So when you look at at CW and covering this particular way, what are some of the insights? I think a lot of folks aren't familiar with the conference and what have you that will be brought to light prior to the season starting.
Yeah, look, and by the way, on the Yogi front, there was a recruiting spell.
I
there,
bet.
So he's doing his own thing, and he's hanging out, living the SoCal life, but he'll be hitting obviously the Big Ten conference in such a big way. And I'm glad, because obviously, look, the league from a Pac-12 perspective got broken apart. So there's some coverage across the board, which is, at least in my mind, that's a positive. We got a West Coast voice covering some of those West Coast teams. And I think Fox and the Big Ten Network scored a home run with him and that hire. But you're right. Look, I think from an ACC perspective, even just getting some familiarity with Cal and Stanford in the mix, this is a good league. And, it's some winning teams. And I think the notable brands that are there, whether it's the Clemsons or the Florida States of the world, people know what those brands, because we all grew up watching them. But, you insert a school like SMU, for example, who I think has got a real opportunity to drive this year. I'll throw Virginia Tech. Maybe a lot of people aren't talking about that squad. I'll throw Miami into the mix. Mario Cristobal, another familiar name that we know from the West Coast with his ties at Oregon. I think the league is going to be good. And I think from, look, the Pac-12 schools like Oregon State, Washington State, you're not going to see necessarily those matchups. But I think from a Pac-12 perspective, we got an expanded playoff. Who knows what's going to happen? We know we're going to have at least one G5 team that's going to be in the postseason. So to me, if those teams are going to be able to mimic some of the recent success that they've had, that's going to be a win. I think it's a little bit more of an uphill battle, for Trent Bray, just looking at that roster, but I think the world of what Jonathan Smith was able to accomplish at his time at Oregon State. And I think Jake Dickert has got an opportunity now that they've moved on from Cam Ward. That offense is going to take a hit, but they got some returning firepower and they hit the portal. I think there's some decent pieces in place.
Mike M. is our guest, the great author of Fried Rice and Marinara. You're listening to him on the Right Toyota guest line. All right, so my question is this. Now, we all know that Christian McCaffrey really won the Heisman Trophy, but that East Coast bias hosed everybody. So how does a West Coast guy translate now to being an East Coast guy where the majority of the teams are located, Mike?
Yeah, well, look, hey, first of all, thank you for bringing up the book. You guys are awesome, and you always do that for me, and it was a passion project, and I appreciate it. Two, you're 100% accurate. Christian McCaffrey should have won the Heisman. We're seeing the success that he's had, obviously, at the NFL level. There is few and far between the players where you don't go to the bathroom when you think there's a chance that they're going to get the ball in their hands. And Christian McCaffrey, when he was at Stanford, was on that list. But this is going to be really unique in the evolution of college football, because you're right. We can focus in on some of these teams in the SEC or the Big Ten, but the reality is the lens just gets a little bit bigger, more from a Big Ten perspective when you talk about some of the West Coast schools that they brought in, whether it's UCLA, and we'll throw SC into the mix. I think that conversation changes, but I also think it changes because of the eyeballs and the distribution and that they're going to get these primetime slots. The games are going to be tremendous, and they're going to have an opportunity to score big wins against notable teams. Now, I'm like the last guy that wanted to see the league break apart, but I got to tell you, I look at those games that we're going to get treated as from a fan perspective in the Big Ten Conference, and it's going to be awesome. Like every single week, there's must-see television that's there, and it's golden opportunities for West Coast players make a name for themselves and thrust them into that Heisman conversation.
Mike, as training camps in the National Football League have kind of winded down, you were on somewhat of a tour there, jumping around. Is there one training camp that you really enjoyed more than the others?
Well, look, I'm a little biased just because my mom's in Baltimore. So the fact that I got to see the Ravens, who we'll double dip here, because last year I thought the Ravens were the best team in the NFL. And look, you can't make the claim because of what happened in that AFC Championship game. But I look at an MVP, I look at a balanced attack, and defensively, they were, arguably the best team in the NFL. I think they're going to be able to duplicate that success this season. So when you can mix a little bit of the work and the pleasure together, that's always a win. But honestly, I'm almost disappointed now that I saw the Atlanta Falcons. I was in Atlanta, and I didn't get to see them, knowing that Matthew Judon and Simmons are going to be there. Like that team, I think that conversation is different from the one that we had 2 weeks ago when we were in that city. I look at that division and I felt like they could compete and maybe win. But now, just knowing what those additions are going to be on the defensive side, I like that roster, maybe a smidge better than Tampa Bay's.
When you guys do all your reports and you go around, you kind of anchor and get the reports from these guys at all these training camps. And now we see Jaden Daniels is pretty much going to be the starter for the Commanders. And then you look at Minshew. I watched that game, saw you guys afterwards, going to be the starter for the Raiders, $25 million later. And then you just talk about Atlanta with Penix. And then you got Bo Nix at Denver. Bo Nix may or may not be the starter, what have you. But when you talk to the guys that are covering these young rookie quarterbacks, what stands out more, or it stands out more so today than yesteryear when these young guys were coming through the league?
Well, I think the one theme, and you guys know this because you cover the college game as well as anyone, then obviously move on to the NFL and you see this maturity process with a lot of these quarterbacks. But I'm always fascinated by the guys where the moment doesn't feel too big for them. And, you mentioned Bo Nix. Last night we were in studio on NFL Network and we had Packers and Broncos. So Bo Nix is going to be their starting quarterback. I know Sean Payton hasn't announced it just yet, but I look at the disparity of drives in week 1 of the preseason, getting the start obviously yesterday, and the success that he had. I mean, dude was 8 and 9, whatever it was, 80, 90 yards, threw for a touchdown. I mean, used his legs out there. Bo's going to be the starting quarterback, in my opinion, for the Broncos. And, I was working with Gerald McCoy and Brian Baldinger last night. We're having these conversations off air. Baldy turned to us and he's like, man, like, if you're a fan of the league, you want a lot of these young guys to do well because you can't win without a quarterback. And not only that, but just the health of the league in general. Like it all centers around that position. That's why these guys are making as much money as they are. You can't win without a top flight quarterback. And I think even if you are in that second tier of quarterbacks, you're still going to be compensated, generational wealth. I mean, Tua, Trevor Lawrence, to name a few. We're going to have this conversation about Brock Purdy when it comes time for his deal to come up. But these guys are making $200 million over the course of a few seasons. That annual salary, I think I even mentioned this to you last time I was on. Look at the salary caps in these teams in the NFL. That quarterback spot alone is taking up, 25, 30% of the cap. It is so significant, and all these teams know, and that's why when it's Gardner Minshew, who you name check, like Aiden O'Connell's going to get burned this year. 67 quarterbacks saw action last year. I'm a Giants fan. I saw Tommy DeVito out there, Tyrod Taylor. These guys will go and play, and it was fun. The Tommy DeVito run was fun. I hope Daniel Jones is a little bit smarter with some of his throws than what we saw over the weekend, against Houston. But in my mind, it's such a valuable position, and these guys, these younger quarterbacks, it doesn't feel too big.
What's the buzz at the network with the Arizona Cardinals, if there is any at all? Too early?
Well, a little early. I think there's cautious optimism. I bring them up because I'm a Kyler fan. When he's at his best, Kyler's as dangerous as anyone in the league at that position. I mean, we've seen this team. A couple of years ago, there was that. What did they start? 8-1, 7-1, something along those lines. I mean, they came out of the gates and they were rolling. I think this team did well in the draft. It felt like every 5 picks, Arizona was back on the clock. But you look at various positions, and they were able to grab some really significant talent. But you guys know, I mean, this division is difficult to navigate, and it all centers around, not to beat a dead horse here, on the health of the quarterback. If Kyler's right, why not that team making some noise? But as far as the conversations inside NFL HQ, I'll be honest with you, it's got to go and prove it, because they're not getting a ton of love on our network just based off of recent results. But I do think they're in a position, and it may not be a win-loss record, but I do think from a fan perspective, it's going to be a better product and this slow growth, and maybe we're having a different conversation a year from now around this team.
All right, Mr. Giants fan, Malik Neighbors, the buzz, as Rock said, buzz. I mean, this kid, I'm watching your highlights. I'm going, okay, yeah, I'm sure he's pretty good. I'm watching these catches. I'm watching all these shenanigans catching behind the bag. I mean, what is it in particular when you talk to the Giants staff that they're mostly impressed with?
He is an absolute monster. And I know we got a chance to hear what the Giants think about him as we watched Hard Knocks on HBO. I grew up in New Jersey, outside of that New York area. College football is not on the thoughts of a lot of fans in Midtown Manhattan. They're rocking Knicks jerseys, Yankees hats, which pains me as a Mets fan, but which is kind of the reality of what that city is. They knew the name Malik Neighbors, right? Because there's all this buzz and hype around him. They probably weren't watching him, though, on campus and thriving at LSU. They watched that preseason performance and they said, oh boy, like, this is the reason why there's so much hype. This was a historic wide receiver class. Marvin Harrison, we know what he potentially could do. I'll throw Neighbors into the mix. I'll throw his other teammate in, Brian Thomas, who just seems like he's making play after play in limited reps down in Jacksonville. Rome Odunze is going to have a great opportunity with Caleb Williams. This is a great class, but Malik Neighbors, I saw, and I watched his games. I saw some of those catches that he made over the weekend in a preseason match. I'm thinking to myself, thank God he's on our team.
Let me just follow up then, since you are a Giants fan. I think Daniel Jones is not that bad of a QB. I saw the 2 picks that he threw. It's freaking preseason. After he got past those 2 picks, he played reasonably well. Where are you on Daniel Jones? Because most Giant fans are screaming that he needs to go.
Preach, brother. Preach. Give me some optimism here. I'm with you. The 2 throws, I said this to Gerald McCoy during one of our shows last night. I said every time I look up on NFL Network, if I'm not working, and hell, even the shows that I am working, what are we showing? The pick 6, Daniel Jones, maybe just throw the ball away. Don't take the safety. He underthrew, and Stingley came up with a good play, but he underthrew Jalen Hyatt on that second interception that he threw. Outside of that, there was confidence, and I think Brian Baldinger hit the nail on the head last night. That offensive line, and I will trust him on offensive line play more than anyone else. When he came back and he said, look, they restructured their team and their offseason priorities to focus in obviously on Neighbors at the wide receiver spot, but really to put assets around Daniel Jones. And that offensive line was patchwork. They were calling guys up off the street last year because there were so many injuries. Baldy said it. That offensive line looked as good as he's seen in recent years around that Giants team. So there is some optimism. There was some rust for Daniel Jones. Let's not forget, I think it was week 9 off the top of the dome when he got hurt with the injury. So it's been a while since he's seen real live reps. It's not practice anymore. To me, it's cringeworthy to see the pick 6 like that, but I will hold judgment till we get to week 1 of the season, because a couple years ago when he was healthy, they got to the postseason and they won a road playoff game. And, if that is the recipe again this year, I'd take it as a Giants fan.
Mike, thanks for the time. We'll be watching as we always do. Thank you.
You guys are the best. Thanks for the invite.
Mike Yam, Mike_Yam on Twitter X. Appreciate him taking some time. CW Network and NFL Network. By the way, quick congratulations to the Arizona Rattlers for winning the IFL National Championship on Saturday as they defeated Massachusetts 53-16 in front of 1,900 fans.
1,900
out there in Henderson. Unfortunate, but Dalton Snead had a hell of a game.
What do you mean hell of a game?
Yeah, there was 29-zip at halftime. I'm sitting there following this thing, and they crushed it. But that's not good. 1,900 fans. I think probably the majority of them were probably just fans from Vegas going to go. What are you going to do this afternoon? Let's go watch a IFL championship.
Yeah.
He
didn't have to do anything. Didn't he throw for like 50 yards?
He had like 3 or 4 touchdown runs, I believe. Yeah. He was running all over the place. MVP 2 years back to back.
Oh,
that's what you learn in the lab, Rock. You learn how to run, you learn how to throw, you learn how all those kind of things.
He passed for 67 yards in an arena football game.
Yeah.
But you're right. He had 2 touchdowns, so he didn't even play the fourth quarter.
No, he didn't. No.
Jeez. How about that? All right, we're going to catch up with Casey Walsh from the Sportsbook here in Casino, Arizona next. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, right here on Fox Sports 9.
When you're away, there are 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One. September 20th and 21st. T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas, streaming live only on Hulu.
Keep listening for your next chance to be there.
Sponsored by Redbird Farms Chicken. Turn up the flavor with Redbird Farms Chicken. Available at your local grocer. Our chicken is juicy, tender, and delicious. Just like the iHeartRadio Music Festival, our chicken hits all the right notes and brings people together. Redbird Farms Chicken. What real chicken tastes like.
Whether you're looking for a bay window awning over a breakfast nook, a shade sail or structure in your home or business, a retractable awning for your patio, or roll curtains for your screen room, the House of Canvas and Fine Wrought Iron has what you need. Beat the heat this summer and get covered by Arizona's #1 rated shade experts. Visit thehouseofcanvas.com. House of Canvas, family owned and making shady deals in the Valley for over 40 years. That's thehouseofcanvas.com.
Is it time for an all-in-one wireless printer with tons of connectivity options? With Document Solutions of the Valley, you can buy, lease, or rent models that work off of your smartphone. Call 623-252-8282. Document Solutions of the Valley. Our service can't be copied.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer-paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. Monsoon season is here, which means my team and I are ready to serve you and your family. Go to state48roofing.com, scan the QR code below. We'll see you up on your roof.
Hey, it's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. You know us for delicious family dinners and huge party pizzas. But did you know we are great at feeding a large group too? Our full catering menu has a ton of variety, so everyone will find something they love. And the best part? We don't charge per head. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll handle the rest. Check out our catering menu at venezias.com. That's venezias.com. Venezias, a family and catering tradition.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Time for the best bets, locks, and daily wager picks, courtesy of the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Now joining the guys is CAZ Sportsbook expert Casey Walsh.
From Boston.
Exclusively on Fox Sports 910.
Anything's possible!
You're hot. Casey Walsh joins us here in his sportsbook here at Casino, Arizona, at 101 in McKellips. All right, Case, I am the king of preseason. I'm rolling. How's the book doing? Because I know I'm taking a lot of your money.
Book's doing all right.
You guys gonna keep your lights on?
After UFC this weekend, yes. UFC was where all the money was made this weekend.
Is there money on this boxing deal with Tyson?
Not really.
No one's gonna watch. Do you think?
I mean, first it has to get regulated.
Okay.
If it's not regulated, you can't offer it.
Right. All right.
But then, I mean, if it is, it's crazy. They had Paul minus a 275, 250 favorite over him. So it'll be interesting to see if they regulate it. And if it is regulated, we'll have it for sure.
So let's look at the preseason Cardinals game against the Colts. How'd that all go down with the Cardinals? It was -1, I believe, Indy?
Yeah, Indy ended up closing as the favorite. And obviously, most people were betting the Cardinals. Obviously, win for the book there. A lot of people took Cardinals second half as well at a pick'em.
Are you seeing any trends through the first 2 weeks in preseason? Is there anything that kind of stands out in regards to people betting on home teams, overs, unders? We were talking to a handicapper on Friday, and he said he won't take a game that's 37.5 or lower. I mean, what did he say, Manuch? He said 37.5 was that was the number. If the number is lower, he's not going to touch it. It's got to be at least that.
Yeah, I mean, if you go week 1 preseason, unders went 12-4, continued pretty good into week 2. Yeah, most of the time you tend to have a lot of people bet the unders in the preseason. Another thing you see a lot of is people teasing in preseason. They just don't really know who's playing. So when you can get those, +1s and you can get through the key numbers of 3, 4, and 7, and you can get +8 there. We've seen quite a bit of that coming in as well.
I was going to say, when you don't, everybody's pretty much in bubble wrap. Some teams play, Chiefs play their guys, other teams play their guys. Who's playing, who's not playing. I mean, just to get that for the handicappers to break all that down to that point there, it just seems so hard to have that favorite per se in order to bet it one way or the other. It just seems almost, especially for you guys yourself.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. I mean, you got to know who's going to play, things like that. But I mean, you can watch early in the week in these preseason games. If you look say Monday or Tuesday, just print out whatever the lines are, and you'll see the crazy movements. One that was this week, Niners were +3.5 to open. They closed at -2.5. Over-unders are moving 5-6 points at a time. So, I mean, the information gets out there. You just got to get it quick.
So you have college football coming up this weekend. How excited are you guys? And is the book already taking college football money?
Not on the individual games yet. We'll see that starting to come in this week, especially on that Florida State Georgia Tech game.
Right.
That'll come in this week. We've had plenty of people betting teams to win their conferences, and plenty of over/under on season win total so far.
Do you offer up something like a wager to make the playoff?
Yeah, we do actually.
Okay, how does that work then?
So you just come up, you say, hey, I want to, we had a guy come in this week. He said Alabama to make the playoffs. They were even money. So he bet $7,500 on it. One that we've taken a lot on is Michigan to not make the playoffs, minus 130.
Just so you know, Jimmy's big on Oregon this year. He thinks they may be pretty good.
Thinks they might take it all the way.
Yeah.
They got a shot.
That's a sleeper.
They're there.
That's just that. Say that again?
They're there.
They're there. Are you from Boston?
Around there. Around
Pats,
there.
where are they going to be a sleeper?
Pats are going to be tough this year.
Oh, come on. So I got to ask. So Kansas takes on Lindenwood. Have no idea who Lindenwood is. Is that not even on the board for right
Massachusetts?
I mean, that game's going to go on the board. It's just that you got a team there with Lindenwood. They probably aren't going to put that up till the day of the game. Probably have that spread at about 56.
I would think.
What the hell is Lindenwood?
That's a KU. Chicken Hawks and the Jags. That's their first game this week. I have no idea where Lindenwood is. Never heard. It's
in Missouri.
Is it Missouri? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. How
St.
about
Charles, Missouri.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's to the day of. So nobody gets any kind of scoop on that.
You know, it's so
situation.
funny.
Yeah.
You call up Lindenwood University, right? You go to the website, and it has their hours, but they close at 6. I mean, it's a university closes at 6.
Football team's got to be at locker at 5:30.
Casey, thank you, buddy. Appreciate
Absolutely.
you improving the show. Hour number 3. We are going to get into
20
best tailgating traditions in the NFL. We're going to get into that, plus Rudy Carpenter and Frank Sanders. That's all next. From Casino, Arizona, in the sports book.
10.
It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Clear.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Year after year, Lerner Rowe is voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. You may wonder why. The answer is quite simple. Lerner Rowe is so popular because we give every client excellent service and a superior experience. But also the main reason is results. We've recovered billions of dollars for our clients with over $1 billion collected in the last 5 years alone. Our phone lines are always open and our legal team is standing by right now, waiting for your call.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Jenny.
Hey, Jenny.
Jenny, come on in.
Steve. Hey, Steve.
Steve, how you doing?
Meg.
Meg, nice to see you.
Hey, Meg.
Arena Sports Grill. Come on out for the sports, off-track betting, incredible food, and friendly faces. The best daily specials in Scottsdale. Arena Sports Grill, 62nd Street in Bell. We know you.
Don't miss our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, you're having a good time.
Friday and Saturday, September 20th and 21st. Streaming live only on Hulu.
iHeartRadio, let's go.
Get tickets now at AXS.com.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture with daily use.
A small commitment, at least one day a week, helps reduce ground-level ozone pollution and helps us all breathe easier. Ride public transportation. Carpool. Commit to one day and help keep ozone away. Visit maricopa.gov/AQ to learn how you can help.
Calling all veterans and first responders that are considering buying or selling a home. The Jason Mitchell Group, the #1 real estate team in the United States, is offering all veterans, along with active duty and first responders, thousands of dollars towards your next home purchase or the sale of your home. Hey, it's Jody Ayler, proud to tell you about the exclusive Honor Home Rewards powered by the Jason Mitchell Group, headquartered right here in Phoenix. Honor Home Rewards has helped thousands, in fact, tens of thousands of home buyers and sellers. The goal now is to give $1 million of real estate commission credits back to veterans and first responders through the Honor Home Rewards program. So if you've been thinking about buying or selling your home and you're a veteran, active duty, or first responder, the time is now. Work with one of the top-rated real estate professionals at the Jason Mitchell Group and put thousands of dollars back in your pocket when you close. Check out honorhomerewards.com. That's honorhomerewards.com. Honor Home Rewards, rewarding those that deserve it most.
Joe Brown here with Accident Law Group. If you were hurt in an accident, find us on the web at accidentlawgroup.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the Raffi Law Group Studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
Former Cardinals quarterback Colt McCoy formally announced his retirement from the NFL after a 14-year career. He's headed to the TV broadcast ranks as an analyst. D-back second baseman Ketel Marte placed on the 10-day injured list with a sprained left ankle. Taven Smith up from AAA Reno. He's manning first and batting fifth in the lineup against the Marlins. Kevin Newman slots in for Marte at second and bats ninth. Brandon Pfaadt gets the ball. ASU football head coach Kenny Dillingham named Sam Levitt the starting quarterback for their August 31st season opener against Wyoming. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910. Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, look for mostly clear skies, temperatures dipping down into the upper 80s, but another hot day on tap for your Tuesday with temperatures right around 111 degrees. Keep in mind, we will be under that excessive heat warning Tuesday until 8 p.m. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Qdoba.
Steak it up a notch with new habanero lime steak from Qdoba. Grilled steak tossed in habanero sauce, lime juice, and fresh cilantro. The perfect hit of heat to spice up your entree. Here for a limited time only. Order today at Qdoba.com or download the app.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox Sports 910.
All right, let's get to it. A pretty cool poll came out in regards to tailgating. And, of course, tailgating is a tradition. And in the National Football League, it's different depending on your city that you live in. Because tailgating to me at the college level is by far the best. However, being a Philly guy, Eagles tailgates are pretty awesome. But when you look at some of these cities that are on the top, it's because they don't have a college football brand in their city, a big one anyway. So when they put this together, they had all these different metrics, and clearly the number one tailgate is
Kansas City.
Nope.
Wow. Green Bay?
No.
Buffalo.
Yes, the Bills Mafia.
There we go.
Breaking those tables.
Breaking the table jumping.
Yep.
That is a huge tradition.
It is.
Crazy tradition.
And they love posting about that as well. Number 2 is Kansas City.
Okay.
All right. And then third place, which I find very hard to believe, but it is Texas, and that is the Dallas Cowboys. They came in at number 3. On the bottom of the list, last place was the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at overall, since we have fans of every team here in Phoenix listening, fans of each team. So as I mentioned, Buffalo, Kansas City, and Dallas were the top 3. Then it was Philly, Cincy, Pittsburgh, or the Midwest, Minnesota, Chicago. Those came in. Packers were number 9.
Okay.
I have not been to Buffalo. I haven't been to Kansas City. I've been Dallas, Philly, Cincy, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Chicago. Green Bay was 9. That's great. Never been to Baltimore. I'm sure that's probably similar to what Philly or New York Giants. Houston Texans came in at 11. 49ers, which I find hard to believe to be top 15. San Francisco, come on. That's wine and cheese.
Quiche and white wine.
Jacksonville, which I have been to, they got a killer pool in their stadium.
They do.
Yeah, 13th. Lions, 14.
It
Denver, I've been to. Great market.
Yeah.
15. Carolina, I've been to, and they, I think it's boring as whatever. New England, 17. I would have assumed that New England would be up there in the top 5.
Maybe it's because Brady's gone and the team has fallen on hard times the last few years. So that big, exciting tailgate tradition has kind of waned as well.
Matter of fact, some folks are saying it should take so long to come out of that stadium, take forever. The tailgates after the games would expand. You have your pregame tailgate and postgame tailgate. And I talked to a fan. I said, what do you mean postgame tailgate? He goes, well, it takes it that Highway 1 coming in between Foxborough. It's 2 lanes.
That's it.
So it takes you like 3-4 hours to get out of there.
Yeah,
so
it
people
does.
just kind of hang out. I've had a couple friends that have been there. So they go hang out and they tailgate for a while. They said the tailgating is just as good. And to your point, Jimmy, when Tom Brady was there and having all the success, were just as fun pregame as they were the postgame because it just took so damn long to get out of there. I mean, for us as players, to get on the bus and come out, we had the escort. So they cleared the way for us to get through there. Otherwise, we would jump on our plane for almost 3 hours. But that's the post-game tailgating as well.
Cleveland came in at 18. Miami was 19. We're doing the top tailgating stadiums. 20 was Tampa. Rams, 21. Giants, what the heck? They're at 22. Tennessee Titans.
What the fans had to be excited about. I mean,
this has nothing to do with the fans.
I know
this has to do, the team.
The tailgating, I get that. But tailgating to me is if your team is an exciting team to watch, you're going to show up early and tailgate. If you have the feeling that you're just going to go to a game to watch them get beat again, you're just going to sort of ho-hum the tailgate and maybe show up a half hour before.
I agree with you. I agree with you off, but I agree with that one. If your excitement,
mark that down, Shu.
Yeah, Jimmy, I agree.
I totally disagree. If it's because most of these games are sold out, you're going anyway. Yeah. These are season ticket holders forever. You've been on this list. A lot of these places like the Giants and Patriots, they've had season tickets in their families forever. They get handed down, and it is a part of life to go preseason and go to a game and
agree
pre-party.
I agree with that.
But I would think that some of the would be dummied down if your team's struggling. You might just go to the game. Maybe that tailgate is off. And I understand what you're saying, Rock. They might go ahead. The Giants suck again, or the Jets suck. We're just going to go to the game. We're not going to go tailgate because it's I get it.
Or you show up for 20 minutes at the tailgate.
If that, yeah,
not for 2.5 hours.
I think the enthusiasm is even more so. I think a tailgate. I'm like you, Jim. Like we're going to go and have fun. And if the team's 0-12, I'm
this is coming from two guys that don't tailgate. You're a former player, and Jimmy's been in the booth. So you guys haven't really been that fan.
I would go to the game let's say I'm calling the game in Kansas City. I would get to the stadium probably 2 hours early just to hang out in the parking lot and walk through what is going on there with the brisket and the steaks, and fans are saying, come on over and have a bite. Have a bite. That's what I loved about it.
I'm calling BS on that, Jimmy.
That's what I did.
No, guys, come on. Are you kidding me? This Jimmy B?
We chat later after the game is over. Wilt comes over and says, why don't you guys come up to the house?
I mean, we know this guy is a big partier. He loves to do this.
I am.
Let's finish this list for all the fans. So, like I said, Titans 23. I've been to a game there. I saw the Cardinals a few years ago. That's more Broadway. That's partying at all the bars and then going into the stadium. We'll see with their new stadium being built. Colts 24, Jets 25, Commanders 26, Seattle 27. Cardinals come in at 28.
Okay.
I think they have by far one of the worst tailgates in all of
the
sports.
big lawn.
Yeah, but people go to Westgate.
You go to Westgate, yes, and then walk over.
No, walk over.
But they have improved with that tailgate area that Bidwell owns, because he owns the hospitality too.
Yes.
So he's tapping into that. What is that called? That area there across the stadium, the lawn,
the
great
lawn,
lawn. Yeah,
the great lawn.
That has, I think, helped a lot
Okay.
for what they're doing there. The sports book there is also a big pulls.
Yeah, and they
as
set
well.
the band up there now as
Yeah.
well too. So they got it's enhanced from where.
But
it's
I
come
think
from.
the challenge with Cardinal games is the heat.
Exactly.
It's just,
exactly
it's
right.
too hard to tailgate. If you're going to the Cardinal game, you will go to Westgate probably, because you
Yeah.
could be in an air-conditioned bar.
Yes.
You can have your drinks and food there, then walk over.
Yep.
It's so much a hassle. You remember, Manuch, I had a party bus for
Yes.
tailgating,
Yes. I remember seeing that bus.
And the Fanatics Express.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And playing as we go to stadiums, the noticeable tailgating getting off the bus was Green Bay, and when the Chargers were in San Diego, they used to have huge tailgating
They did
in the
there.
old San Diego Jack Murphy.
Let me finish this list real quick.
Okay.
Raiders for 29, Saints 30, Atlanta
3.
31, and Chargers, as I mentioned, 32. I want to mention something about Green Bay, because I think they're a top 3. And the reason why is they truly cater to their fans. It's and Lambeau's in a small town right there. People park in everyone's backyard.
Yep.
And what's cool that they do is they have doors outside of Lambeau Field to go into the bathrooms. So in other words, the concourse bathrooms are connected to the outside too. So you could actually, as you're tailgating, that's the biggest problem, is finding the porta potties and all that. You can actually go into a clean stadium. Now you can't get in the concourse. That door is locked until game time. And you obviously got to have
Sure.
a ticket to get in the front door and go through it. But still, that I think is one of the coolest things at Lambeau. I'm trying to go. I want to go this year. The Cardinals are playing at Lambeau. I mean, if you're looking for a game to go to, I think it's in November or
think you're
October,
right. Yep.
and that is a great trip. It's hard to get there, but it's a great.
Even
cool
with
thing.
the preseasons going to Lambeau, I mean the
So-
place it's packed. Obviously, but the tailgate we pull up 3 hours early,
Oh yeah.
packed, and you smell brats and you see the barbecue. I'm like, wow, this is preseason, and it's jam packed. They're all doing their thing. Of course, to your point, Rock, not a lot to do in the Green Bay area in the summertime, and that stadium's right smack in the neighborhood.
I was just going to
Yeah,
say
it's
that.
right in the neighborhood. So all the
Yeah.
people they walk from their house all the way over. Now the tailgating on top of that, I'm like, man, we used to go. Can we go get a brats real quick?
Where you referenced, but we talked about the neighborhood and people use their yards to park cars. They do that still in Buffalo.
And at the Coliseum,
Yes.
in Southern California, when you go watch a game at the Coliseum, you watch USC, whoever,
Right.
you can park in the neighborhood there.
Yeah.
Pretty rough neighborhood, the old Compton area there, and it's $10, and they will watch your car for you.
Yeah, they will.
For an extra $20.
Yeah.
We'll watch it on top
One.
of everything.
What do you need to watch it for?
Well, you've been in that area around the USC and the Coliseum. Pretty rough neighborhood, Rock. So you park there on these houses, on these lawns.
Yep.
Guys will stay
That's
there
how they make their money.
and protect the car. An extra $20. Will you please look over my car?
Yeah, it's all
One thing
cash.
that I've had success is if you're going to a particular game, say if it's a Packer game, you try to go the weekend that Wisconsin is playing a game too, so you can knock them both out. You can do the same thing for the Bears and say Cubs in September and early October, where you can hit them both, or maybe go to Northwestern on Saturday or Illinois on Saturday, and then be able to go to the Sunday NFL game. That's a hell of an
That'd be a
experience.
blast.
I mean, this year the Cardinals play on the 13th of October. Unfortunately, Wisconsin's on the road that day. or the day
There's
before.
there's always a couple of games in Buffalo, and Manuch can attest to this, where you can go to the Buffalo Bills game with a 1:00 kick, and then jump in the car and head downtown, go to the Buffalo Sabres NHL game. They drop the puck at 6:30.
Those are cool.
It's
That's
awesome.
That's fun. That's fun. I wish we had a hockey team. I will tell you, since we're talking about tailgating, and if you haven't heard what we are doing, we have teamed up with Twin Peaks. It's called the Fantastic Tailgating Sweepstakes. And we've teamed up with Blue Moon and Coors Light. All you do is text PEAKS to 59925. You can do this every day. And this is the grand prize. One person will win a Traeger grill, a Blackstone griddle, a pizza oven for the outside, a cornhole set, a portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector with screen that you could set up and watch the game at your tailgate, a cooler, a gift card, $250 from Twin Peaks, that will give you, so you don't want to make everything. You can bring some wings from Twin Peaks and Cocoa 5, so you got to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
And then the best part of it is the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B logoed Wild Gear tumblers that has a beer opener on the bottom.
Yeah.
So all you do, no purchase necessary. Standard message and data rates apply. Just text Peaks to 59925. Rudy Carpenter's next. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
We have a couple of crashes on Loop 101 northbound, one near McKellips. That's going to be in the far right lane. Then an accident north of that after Cactus. That has the HOV and 2 left lanes blocked. Watch for slow traffic back to Via de Ventura.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A., copyright 2024.
Tune in Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. for the Crest Insurance Group Sun Devil Report with Coach Charlie Rago. Crest Insurance, coverage you can trust, service you can count on. Every Thursday on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Kick off the football season with Twin Peaks, Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and Fox Sports 910 for our fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. Text Peaks to 59925 for your chance to win a Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, and more. No purchase necessary. Details at rockandmanuch.com.
Get ready to turn heads with Arizona Color Vehicle Wraps, the original vehicle wrap shop. Your one-stop shop for business branding, vehicle wraps, and graphics. Our in-house graphic design team specializes in everything from food trucks to business fleets, RVs, cargo trailers, and side-by-sides. Ready to elevate your brand? Call Arizona Color Vehicle Wraps at 623-580-7386 or get a quick quote online at arizonacolorwraps.com. One call wraps it all.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
This is former Notre Dame quarterback Brady Quinn. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by AutoZone.
ASU football coach Kenny Dillingham named Sam Levitt the starting quarterback for their August 31st season opener against Wyoming. D-back second baseman Ketel Marte placed on the 10-day injured list with a sprained left ankle. Pavin Smith recalled from AAA. Washington Commanders coach Dan Quinn officially named second overall draft pick Jaden Daniels as QB1 for their Week 1 opener against the Buccaneers. I'm Frank Garrity.
The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help you troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Here to talk football is former Sun Devil quarterback, who, by the way, went 3-1 against that team in Tucson.
Carpenter going to go up. The time steps up, looks end zone, got a man, McGahee, touchdown! Rudy Carpenter threw that right into the teeth, into the strength of the Wildcat defense.
Rudy Carpenter, now on Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 910 on FM.
All right, former Sun Devil. Rudy Carpenter joins us down the right to the guest line. Rudy, just saw that the Arizona State Sun Devils and their head coach, Kenny Dillingham, has announced that redshirt freshman Sam Levitt get the start. Of course, he's the transfer from Michigan State against Wyoming. Your thoughts on what you know of him, and are you content with this at least here on the 19th of August?
Oh, yeah. To me, it's no surprise. I've been down to ASU at a couple of their practices and, have been able to watch those guys, compete a little bit and play. And, because of that, this is not a move that, really surprised me at all. I thought that really once Jaden Rashada left, I thought this was going to be Sam's job. And every time I've watched him practice, he's looked pretty good.
And from that standpoint, when you look at him, Rudy, what are some of the things that a lot of Sun Devil fans can expect to see? Or what were you impressed with?
Well, I mean, it's really hard to tell in practice when you don't have live bullets. I think that, makes everything different, right? But, when he's not getting hit and they're working in 7-on-7 or they're working in team run or play action pass, third down, whatever. He's a guy that got some experience last year at Michigan State. He's played in some bigger environments. He's been on the field. But to me, out of the group of quarterbacks, he was the guy that possessed the best timing, the best accuracy, the best anticipation, the most consistent decision-making. And on top of that, I think that you might have some guys that are more athletic than him or faster than him. But he's athletic enough. He's fast enough to be able to extend the play and to be able to escape and get out of danger with needed, and get you a first down with his legs on third and medium when he needs to do that. Although it's not, the focal point of his game, he has that ability. And then from what I've heard, I haven't been able to see this, like I said, in practice, but from what I've heard, he's pretty tough, both physically and mentally. And I think that's also a super important factor when trying to be a starting quarterback at a major Division I level.
Rudy, when you talk about athleticism, Sims comes in from Nebraska, really struggled as a quarterback, but to your point, a hell of an athlete, right? How would you utilize him, and would he be the backup, or do you think Trenton Bourguet would be the safe choice to be the backup to Levitt?
Well, that's a much more difficult question for a lot of reasons, because we haven't seen a ton of Jeff Sims. When he has played, he's struggled. And then on top of that, you got a guy like Trenton Bourguet, who, in my opinion, probably deserves to be that backup. He's put in his time, he's put in his dues. When he got a chance to play, he was serviceable, did the best he could, did a nice job, showed he was able to compete. In my viewpoint, showed that, he could keep you in a game. He might not be that guy that's going to go out there and win you the game and be a difference maker, but you're not going to lose because of him. And I think as a backup quarterback, that's an important thing. I guess if it was me, I look at this ASU team and look, I'm not trying to bash on them, but I just think that they're going to struggle a little bit. They're not really where they need to be from a talent perspective. They're playing in a very tough conference, tough schedule. So if I'm Kenny Dillingham, I'm going to try to find ways to get use out of every single player on my roster. And if that means Sam Levitt is my starter, great. If that means Trenton Bourguet is my backup, if we get into an extended period of time where a guy's got to come in and play, great. But if I can use Jeff Sims in a wildcat package, in a goal line package, in a short yardage, package where, you can bring a guy in there and basically have a glorified running back playing quarterback, that makes it really tough on the defense, because now they have to account for all 11 players in the run game. And it's a way when you're on the goal line or you're in a short yardage situation and everything is compact and tight and there's a bunch of bodies down in the box in the line of scrimmage, it's a way for the offense to gain back control from a numbers standpoint and a matchup standpoint. And lastly, like I said, when you're ASU and you are where you are on the roster right now with your talent level, I think you just got to find ways to utilize every single body that can compete for you or that can produce for you on that roster.
Rudy Carpenter is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Rudy, let me follow up then with that. Are you saying that you might see Arizona State's offense try to do a lot more of ball control, because last season they ran the ball relatively effectively. You just chronicled how good this Big 12 conference is and how difficult their schedule is. So if you run the ball, you eat more time off the clock, try to shorten the game. Could that be a concept that fans might see as the season gets ready to start?
I mean, I have no idea when it comes to that. I would imagine that this is just a pure guess, and knowing Kenny a little bit and that coaching staff, I think Kenny's a smart guy, and I think Kenny's going to try to find ways to get the most out of the entire roster, top to bottom. I think that, ASU feels good about their team, and I think they feel good about their quarterback, and I think Kenny's going to run his offense. I don't think that because they're going to a new conference, or because maybe from a talent standpoint they're still trying to catch up, that they're going to, throw everything out that they've done. Kenny's going to change, his identity completely, because I don't see that. I think Kenny's going to be Kenny Dillingham, and he's going to run the type of offense that got him to, be the head coach at ASU. That's my guess. I think they're going to try to utilize Sam Levitt's talent as a thrower as much as they can, as a competitor as much as they can. I think that I literally think that, Kenny's a smart guy. He's an innovative guy. He's going to do everything he can to put his guys in a position to win and to put them in the best place to win. All I'm saying is that, I like when, you saw, like back in the day with Chris Leak and Tim Tebow when he was young, when, you have a quarterback that can do, something special, or can provide you something that you don't have, you should utilize it. And when you can, kind of like ASU had back a couple of years ago with Michael Eubanks or something, when you can have a big, strong, athletic quarterback in a goal line situation or a short yardage situation, and he can, run quarterback power, quarterback counters, quarterback ISOs, or he can just run the old school student body sweep right or left with him running behind all the lead blockers and create the numbers for you. That's what you're trying to create, is numbers and matchups, and you can get it back on the positive side for you. I would utilize it. And I think Kenny's a smart guy, and he might look at that and say, hey, let's try to use him some way.
Reed, it's good to hear that you've been out to a couple practices. Are we going to see the next USC on the sidelines here on Frank Cush Field? We're going to see a bunch of alum hanging out on the sideline this fall?
Oh, I have no idea about that, but I will give credit where credit is due. I've been a complainer since I've been out of ASU. I will admit I have been a complainer that ASU doesn't always do a good job staying tapped in with their alum, and they're not always inviting with their past alum and trying to get guys around. I've complained, and as much as I've complained, I've done a terrible job of not, taking advantage of the opportunity. Life is busy, but I do have to give them credit. Ever since Kenny Dillingham took the job at ASU, without a doubt, that football program and the support staff have done a much better job than any previous coaching staff trying to reach and trying to get guys in and around their football team. And I give Kenny and the staff there a lot of credit for that.
I love it. Here you are coming out, Rudy, saying I was a complainer. I love that. I'm glad that you're giving credit where credit's due, and I think a lot of alum are happy to hear that.
Look, I'm somebody that doesn't mind telling the truth. I've always done it, even when it's not in my favor. And yeah, I mean, I was as loud as anybody complaining, and now they're trying to do something different, and I really respect it. And I just think it's really good for those young players or the players in general just to know, who the guys are that came before them. I think it's really important to know when you got a guy like Danny White showing up at your practice. I think it's important to know when you got Jeff Van Raphorst there, the only Sun Devil quarterback to win a Rose Bowl. I think it's really important when you got a guy like, Derek Hagan, who pops around the program and was a coach there, because when he graduated, he was the Pac-10's all-time leading wide receiver, not just, school history, but the whole Pac-10. That's what it was at the time, right? I mean, I think those things are very important. And I think the more that the players understand the history of the school and the guys that came before them, I think that's an important thing.
He's Rudy Carpenter, former Sun Devil, and you'll probably see him at some games this year. So, Rudy, thank you as always, man. Good stuff today.
Take care.
You got it. Rudy Carpenter joining us here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy.
He fessing up a little bit there.
Yeah,
I like that.
He's always been very outspoken, and that's why we love having him on every Monday, especially after wins and losses for the Sun Devil program. And he's an agent. He's got his own business. He's really dialed in, and I'm glad to see him out there. And hopefully it'll never get to a USC sideline, but I think it'd be pretty cool to see a sideline with a bunch of alum.
Well, Kenny's been very open about inviting these guys back, and that's one of the things he said. We want all the alumni to be incorporated, and he's one of them.
Right.
To be incorporated, we want those guys. You just heard Rudy talk about it. Danny White, Derek Hagan. You look at the J.D. Hills from years go by. I mean, even the modern guys, come on out here. They want to – let's talk about our rich history that we're trying to get back to in order to have some kind of a semblance that when these guys come out, they can say, well, he's on the Ring of Honor, and he's a Ring of Honor, and he's a Hall of Famer. And then there's this guy named Mike Haynes. He's part of the Hall of Fame. And then there's these other guys. Yeah, but I mean, they need to know the history of why they're there, and maybe you stick around because of knowing that you have a good shot if you're good enough to move on to the next level. And not only that, guys, not everybody's going to make it, but if you got those connections in the community and you get your degree, you don't make football, you stay. Those are great contacts for you. And the networking, Rock, the networking is huge in this valley. And exactly right. On top of that,
join the team at the largest towing company in the state. That's All City Towing. They're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, customer service personnel, and they got great benefits. And they also have set work schedules, a healthy 401k, employer match, employer paid life insurance, health benefits, a monthly fuel allowance. I can go on and on. If you're ready to take your career to a next level, just visit them online at allcitytowing.com. That's All City Towing, where your future is on the move. We'll continue. We're out here at the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Appreciate you hanging out with us today. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
ASU football head coach Kenny Dillingham named Sam Levitt the starting quarterback for their August 31st season opener against Wyoming. Former Cardinals quarterback Colt McCoy formally announced his retirement from the NFL after a 14-year career. He's headed to the TV broadcast ranks to serve as an analyst. D-back second baseman Ketel Marte on the 10-day injured list with a sprained left ankle. Pavin Smith called up from Reno. Smith is manning first and batting fifth in the lineup against the Marlins. Kevin Newman slots in for Marte at second and bats ninth. Brandon Font gets the ball in the start. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910. Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, look for mostly clear skies, temperatures dipping down into the upper 80s, but another hot day on tap for your Tuesday with temperatures right around 111 degrees. Keep in mind, we will be under that excessive heat warning Tuesday until 8 p.m. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. Welcome to the ultimate playground for online social casino enthusiasts. Get ready to live the Chumba life and play over 100 online casino-style games for free at ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Got a burning urge to pick games each week? Sign up now for Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em, brought to you by Blue Moon and Coors Light. It's totally free to play. Win weekly Twin Peaks fan cards and season-long prizes, including $5,000 cash. Visit fanpick'em.com.
Over the years, Lerner Rose helped over 150,000 injured people recover billions of dollars for their injuries and over $1 billion in the last 5 years alone. What does that mean to you when you're looking for an attorney to handle your personal injury case? That means that Lerner Rowe is a law firm that not only has experience, but the proven results to recover money for your injuries. The insurance companies know which attorneys won't put up a fight. When you call us, we call them, and they know they have to pay.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
It's Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, cobbling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget, not State 48 Roofing. Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
Looking for a place where everyone is welcome? Come to Azul Bar and Grill in Phoenix. Not your typical sports bar, Azul is the ultimate hangout spot for friends and families alike. Enjoy live music, catch your favorite games, play some fun games, and savor delicious food in a vibrant atmosphere. Visit us at 3134 West Carefree Highway in the Tremonto Plaza. Don't miss out on our daily events and specials at azulgrill.com. Azul Bar and Grill, a great time, but a better time with you.
Baby boomers and retirees, you can de-risk your retirement dollars with proven tax-saving solutions that have less risk and higher historical returns. National talk show host, wealth strategist, and best-selling author Chuck Oliver of The Hidden Wealth Solution can show you how to keep more of your hard-earned money from the upcoming tidal wave of higher taxes. Learn why it is never too early or never too late to get a head start to be retirement tax smart through proven solutions that can save you and your family thousands in unnecessary taxes. Visit retirementprotected.com. That's retirementprotected.com.
Sarah Spain with iHeart Women's Sports, presented by Capital One. In LPGA news, American Lauren Coughlin won the Scottish Open on Sunday, her second LPGA Tour victory in her last 3 starts. The world number 26 led fellow American Megan Kang by a single stroke going into the final day and shot a 369 for a 4-shot victory.
He's good.
With the win, Coughlin secured herself a spot on the U.S. team for the 2024 Solheim Cup. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
With the Venture Card from Capital One, you earn unlimited 2x miles on every purchase. Plus, earn unlimited 5x miles on hotels and rental cars booked through Capital One Travel. Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
He played 8 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals. The Sandman.
It is caught! Touchdown Auburn! Sanders caught it! Touchdown Auburn! Touchdown Auburn!
Frank Sanders joins Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch. Now on Fox Sports 910.
How's your Monday going, Frank?
Doing pretty good. How about you, brother?
Can't complain, man. Glad you're on the show today. Talk about these Cardinals 0-2. Are you okay? We gonna be all right?
What the hell's wrong with them, Frank?
What's going on, man? We need to
let's go.
Get some help.
Why do they stink, Frank? What's going on here?
You coming out of retirement?
Yeah.
I love the morning mayhem you guys are like I heard going off on, man.
Well,
relax. It's just the preseason. We're letting our young guys get out there and get some reps and rotation.
But we're doing the
there
same
are
thing,
some good
Frank.
things, my man. The W's are just not adding up.
Frank, we're doing the same thing. It's our preseason too to talk about what Mondays are going to be like in the fall. So we're just getting warmed up. We know this team's going to be bad, so we're in preseason form as well.
Wow, touche, Rock.
Yeah, man.
That was a very good retort, but let's back up, player. You understand that our players aren't playing, so you won't even have this conversation. You're assuming that our team isn't good. That's the point. This is preseason. Guess what? It happens. Teams lose in the preseason, especially when your stars aren't playing. But the idea is that you just haven't seen the players play. So when that transition's over, you might have a better Monday, Rock. And I want you to have more sugar in your coffee when you talk to me next time.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the teams that they're playing also aren't playing their starters. So we know how deep this roster is, right? If some of the stars, unfortunately, get banged up and can't play.
No, you're absolutely right about that, man. It is 2 zone 2s and 3 zone 3s, and unfortunately, we're not watching the best on the best. But there are some good things we get to watch. We're watching guys, our young guys get out there and fight at it and figure it out. Apparently, this is what I do get to know. I notice is that the Cardinals have a good window of time between the next game, our preseason game, and then our first game versus the Buffalo Bills. And I think that they're just kind of resting those guys and giving them that time. This is kind of new to me, watching the way they rest the stars and rest the first team players. We still got rookie receivers that really haven't had much time.
but those guys aren't getting a lot of rotation. Our offensive line is still kind of young and new. The continuity is still not there, but at the end of the day, most of those guys aren't playing. So I guess we're playing the long game. As a fan, you get to watch your team go out and play, but you're watching the guys they drafted pretty much in the latter rounds. But some of our young guys that we drafted in the first round on defense and offense are going out and making some plays and showing some light. Look, Trey Benson, you can say what you want to say, but you're watching a young kid that's getting some reps, some much needed reps, because if something happened to JC or he looks like a very good, viable 1-2 punch. And on defense, man, when you're watching our kid Thompson, I mean, our defensive line is going at offensive quarterbacks in a tumultuous way, and it looks good. But again, it's not our starters, and again, we're still walking around with two L's on our chest, and that's not a good feeling. No way you look at that.
So, Frank, when you watched the game the other night against the Colts, anything stand out for you that you want to see some progress? I mean, one of the things I look at is why not pump the ball down the field a little bit, stretch the field, not really many big plays at all, if any, these first couple of weeks. I know that it doesn't concern you, but you'd think that you watch all these other teams around the National Football League in preseason, they're getting the ball down the field on a regular basis.
I agree with you. I thought we talked about that last Monday, and I said I was hoping that we were going to see teams get a little bit more aggressive because they know that we have a good running game. I thought that was going to happen, but when I went back and watched the film, I saw that the cloud coverage that they was playing was trying to take away the deep ball, which was surprising to me. There were a lot of plays that the quarterback had to end up throwing check down routes to the tight end on the underneath stuff. That was, good read by Clayton and the quarterbacks, but the reality was we wanted the deep ball. So I don't know what the coach absolutely saw in practice on a daily basis. They might have saw that we really had speed at that position, and they needed to play more of a cloud coverage, a cover 2 or cover 3. But at the end of the day, I saw that we were trying to do that, but it just didn't happen. My expectations from what I saw this weekend was pretty much about the same. The running game came out and was still pretty slightly productive. There wasn't a whole bunch of mistakes on the offensive or defensive side. The coaches still coached like I was hoping to see 4 quarters of football. But we had some guys flying around at the end of the day. They just came out with more plays than we did.
Frank, you bring up Trey Benson. I like the kid's got a home run gear, but he's strong too. I mean, he found the hole. He drug a couple of tacklers with him on the one big run, was the 19, 20-yard run that he had. Good size, strong, and got the speed, kind of an all-encompassing 5-tool running back when you watch him early on.
Trey looks really good. He is everything that we thought he would be. We coming out of FSU, we thought this kid, he showed a lot of flash there and a lot of splash, but, our mindset is when you get used to watching James Conner, you kind of realize that James can catch the ball. He has a little bit of speed there with a little wiggle and a waggle in his steps. But not only that, he has those shoulders that he has no problem lowering them versus any defender, whether you're a coach, you're a water boy, you're a referee to fool around, and James Conner will hit you. But Trey looks really good. He really does. And I think he's showing good footwork. He's managing himself as he reads the backside windows on some cuts. His speed is definitely something to be reckoned with. So the reps he's getting is definitely helpful. When I talk about continuity, that's offense. That also bodes well with the offensive line. Once our offensive line, and again, this is why it's important because he hits the hole a lot faster than James hits the hole. And so when you're rotating running backs in and out, Manuch, you gotta know that James is back there this time, and I gotta hold my block a little bit longer than I would with Trey because Trey's a lot faster and a little bit more explosive with those young legs. So that's the kind of stuff that we're missing right now. But I guess the coaches, again, they're still letting these guys rest. Like we're in week 15, and it's kind of surprising to me, just like it is to you.
Frank Sanders is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Let me follow up with your continuity comment then, because people are watching the Patrick Mahomes behind the back pass. People are watching Tua Tagovailoa throw passes, and they're watching Josh Allen play in the first game for the Buffalo Bills. But yet you just said continuity is going to be key. But you're not getting continuity because the starters, Frank, have really not been on the field together, even for a series or two. For me, that is somewhat problematic.
We still got one more preseason game. I'm going to hold out for one more preseason game there, Jimmy B. Okay. I'm with you guys, man. I think that it's important. The reps are very important. But again, this is a long season, and the coaches must know something that we don't know. And I think, when they're watching their players and how these guys interact and practice, maybe they think these guys are ready to go and they don't have to play. They don't need that type of reps. They don't need those actual in-game reps. Now that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things for a team. It's not like we went 11-4 last year or 11-5 last year, or 11-7.
Or even 500.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, Rock? I'm gonna start a fight with you. or either 500 is Rock, as my man would say. You're right. And
I think the consensus is, Frank. I think as fans, we want to see these starters. That's just the way it is, and we all know preseasons don't mean anything. Right. But I think because Kyler Murray, this is such a big year for him, and I think people love to see even in there. For a couple snaps. Some of the best quarterbacks in the business are playing in the preseason. And for some reason, Kyler's not. I know you can't afford to get him hurt, but you can't baby him either. So, or coddle him.
No, I like the way. No, you're absolutely right, man. And again, that's why I had to go back and say the coaches must be seeing something that we're not.
You're right.
Or, and that's just a part where it's behind the scenes where they can talk about it and they can discuss it. And they don't even talk about this stuff in the media. And you're right. As a fan, I want to see them play. I want to see what we got. I want to see what it looks like up against a little bit of competition, under the bright lights. But that just to this team and to this staff right now, that's not as important as, getting ready for week 1 versus the Buffalo Bills, not showing much, I guess, not showing much, I don't know the word I want to say on that because it just still makes sense. So, but either way, we still got one more week, my man.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's the Cardinals versus the Broncos. That should be a good head-to-head match between two coaches. I always think like that's what you want to see. Two coaches of great minds going against each other, how well they use their chess pieces, what players they put in the right position over here, this new kickoff rule and how is that going to play a factor. All these things right now just feels like we're getting the gloss version of that because we don't really get to see it in live action. But I'm excited about this team. I will say that openly, and I'm not even lying, Rock. I wish that if I was a player at this day and stage, that I would love to be on this team with this coaching staff here for the Arizona Cardinals because I believe I got another receiver on the other side. I believe we got a quarterback that can sling that thing. We got a running game, and our defensive line has no problem going after the quarterback. So that would be my desire with this team. So that to me, I think this is a good team. I just don't see the reps that they put in yet.
Yeah, it does. It sounds good, though. I mean, it all sounds good. It looks good on paper, but until they get out there, we'll see. Frank, thank you, man. We love you. We love you, Frank. What am I going to do with these 81 balls that I have? I thought you were going to give it to him. I think they're in my car. I may have to leave it.
I promise you, this is the last week. This is the last week you will have possession of my balls. I am coming to get
Excuse me?
Can we say that on radio?
We did. Frank, have a good week.
Man, family show, Frank. Come on, man.
That's Frank Sanders, the one and only. Always nice enough to join us. And let me let everybody know, we ordered him for Christmas 24 golf balls, some TPC golf balls.
How many years ago?
It's a Christmas. And literally, his
Current
number
Christmas?
was 81. And we just haven't found the time to hook up with him.
So you still have his balls?
Yes, I do.
In his hands.
I have
sure
Frank's balls. Hey, there is a major college in our state has decided to change their mascot. Wait till you hear that. It's nuts. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
A problem in Scottsdale, and that's an accident on Loop 101 northbound, just north of Cactus. It's got the HOV in left lane blocked, causing about a 3-mile backup. Off the freeways, we have a crash on McDowell, west of 59th Avenue.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half. 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals utilize their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Whether you're looking for a bay window awning over a breakfast nook, a shade sail or structure in your home or business, a retractable awning for your patio, or roll curtains for your screen room, the House of Canvas and Fine Wrought Iron has what you need. Beat the heat this summer and get covered by Arizona's #1 rated shade experts. Visit thehouseofcanvas.com. House of Cannabis, family owned and making shady deals in the Valley for over 40 years. That's thehouseofcannabis.com.
Craving a sandwich that packs a punch? Welcome to Knuckle Sandwiches in Mesa. We're not your typical sandwich shop. All our menu items are made in-house using family recipes passed down for generations. Taste the difference in every bite. And we don't stop at sandwiches. Enjoy our mouth-watering breakfast burritos and delicious bagel sandwiches. Plus, we cater all over the valley for your next event. Find us at 1140 North Higley in North Point Village, next to Bashis. Or skip the line and order online at knucklesandwichesaz.com. Knuckle Sandwiches. This is the knuckle sandwich your parents should have given you.
Hey sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they've won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture with daily use.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you can use that money towards going to see your favorite team in the playoffs. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can go see your favorite team in the playoffs. Drivers and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but we cannot guarantee that your favorite team will make the playoffs or even finish with a winning record. They could easily lose more than half their games and finish in the cellar because they stink badly and haven't made the playoffs in years. Savings? Very possible. Playoffs? Highly doubtful. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. We cannot be held liable for your favorite team's terrible and frankly embarrassing performances now or ever.
It's the Learner.
Jimmy B's going to wish I was back on vacation.
Call of the day. If you're looking for a full
Jimmy B's going to wish I was back on vacation.
One call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
I know we're going to sit here and we're going to say, nobody wants to see 58-year-old Mike Tyson and this Jake Paul clown. Well, but he's going to want you watch.
Who's going to watch?
People will buy the pay. Well, it's on Netflix.
That's on Netflix.
Yeah. People will watch it. You watch, it'll have a big viewing audience. As the hype builds and they get closer to November, people want to see if back when he was the baddest man on the planet, can knock this clown out.
There you have it. Good job, Jimmy. Our Learner Row, one call, that's all.
That's why I'm here.
I thought that was going to get some more love because I thought it created a really good drop, and I was expecting a good reaction, so then I could play what I thought was the drop-worthy moment there of Jimmy B's raspy voice saying this.
Nobody wants to see 58-year-old Mike Tyson.
I just didn't get the reaction there that I thought I was going to get, so I'm going to go back on vacation. I'll see you guys on Friday.
We'll see you. Thank you, yes.
Thank you, Shu.
Northern Arizona Lumberjacks.
Yeah.
Not so fast, Jimmy.
Uh-oh.
They are now the Astrojacks.
Wait, what?
Who the hell?
Be prepared to call them the Astrojacks.
They
are going to promote their commitment from the university is to astronomy.
Mm-hmm.
So they're rolling out some new marks, some new unis, a mascot. There is no more. The biggest change of all of it is the mascot. Louis the Lumberjack.
Yeah.
A staple when you go up the flag. He's sitting there. He's everywhere.
He's got the big, you're right. You walk into the stadium, as you mentioned, there's the statue there.
It's Bluey, not Louis.
Oh, no.
The Space
Ox.
Ox.
Oh, please, NAU.
Louis.
You didn't do it, NAU.
So instead of Louis, just put a B in front of it, and it's Louis.
Man.
Louis?
You didn't go there, NAU, did you? I mean, seriously? Boy, what are you? I'm an Astrojack. Really? What the hell's an Astrojack? Well, we got this big telescope up there, and we got everybody comes there for astrology and this and that, and it's kind of one of those things that you look at.
Is this permanent or is this just
this is the thing. And literally, so it's now the Northern Arizona Astrojacks, and it's got an A.
Yeah.
And then it's got like that
that space thing
going in a circle around it.
Yeah.
And the little character
3.
It looks like a cow with ears like Viking ears with an axe.
Yeah.
And if you remember the show The Jetsons,
Yes.
it would fit in perfectly.
Meet George Jetson. His dog, Leroy.
Yep.
Real quick. So, guys, I think we're safe because we're going to have Mitch Stroman on later this week, correct, Manuch?
Yes.
This does not apply to football. So I think we're good here on the show. I think we're fine. This only applies to soccer, volleyball, and men's and women's basketball, and it's only for a couple of games. So we're good, guys. We're fine.
But it said, I saw the Republic had it. It said, and I'll read right from the Republic, be prepared to call the Astrojacks for 6 games this season.
Oh, boy.
Six home games.
I see the story you're looking at, and there's another paragraph that says it's for select sports this season, including soccer, volleyball, and men's and women's basketball.
You're going to tell me on homecoming they're not going to bring out Astrojack.
Excuse me, Bluey the Space Ox.
I got your Astrojack right here.
You got football alumni that will not be sending their checks in anytime soon.
No.
If that's
I understand change is good sometimes, but okay. This one is just a head scratcher. Yeah. It's like, all right, they're all sitting in the board meeting, and everybody in the marketing department are like, hey, we need a change. We need a refresh. Let's go at Astrojack
with Bluey.
Now, maybe, and I don't know. I don't go to school up there. I mean, maybe this is something that was voted on by the students. This is the first I've heard of it. Maybe somebody can clarify that to us. But it could have been a campus-wide poll.
Sure.
And Astrojack and Bluey the Space Ox came in first.
Hey, listen, you have the schools. Its nickname is the Banana Slugs.
That is
what school is that?
Is that Long Beach State?
Well,
1 minute.
Yes.
They're dirt bags. Also,
dirt
bags.
Are there. Yeah.
You talk about the Savannah
Banana Slugs.
Oh, well, that's pro.
No. It's a college. Banana Slugs.
I don't know what to fact check that bad boy.
Yeah.
I'll check that. All right, guys.
Check it out. Banana Slugs.
Our State Fair Roof Feature Call question of the day. What is your biggest concern after watching the Cardinals' second preseason game? Just go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. No pass rush, no rush defense, no big plays, or being 0-2. And again, go to @Roc and Manuch. Currently,
Santa Cruz Banana Slugs.
Banana Slug. There you go.
50%, folks. No big plays, as Frank Sanders said the same
20.
thing. 33%. No pass rush.
I appreciate you listening. Thank you. Go to rockandmanuch.com and you can listen to all of the shows right there.
10.
So for all the guys, thank you.